Hello, and welcome to Coping with the Sports World. I'm Cope, here with Chris Kessler, and this is episode 3 here today on a rainy, damp, kind of cold, not really cold kind of day.
It was not a fun day at all.
But it's a fun day to really just
sit
inside in a nice warm room. And we're going to go ahead and right into the lead here. That I've been stewing on this all week is the state of United States soccer, specifically the men's national team missing the World Cup for the first time since 1986, or to make it bigger, the first time in my lifetime I won't see the men's team play in the World Cup. This all is a result, well, partially, of a loss to Trinidad and Tobago, who was last place in qualifying, and they had put out their third string team.
Was it? Wait, really? It was their third string team?
Because they had nothing to play for.
Oh my god.
They had absolutely nothing to play for.
Oh my god.
And the only thing they had going for them was they're at home. And we came somehow finagle the 2-1 defeat out of it. And as a result, with Panama getting their positive result,
and Honduras,
we're out. And Panama's in for the first time. So good for them, but shitty for us.
Seriously, there was so much that had to go wrong for them to not get in, and it all went wrong.
I mean, let's be real.
You just had to beat Trinidad. Or tie Trinidad.
Yeah, a tie would have done it.
Tie Trinidad. Is it that hard?
Their third string, Trinidad and
Tie
Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago with all the dudes that you're supposedly so good.
If you look at it, if you're in a situation like that, it should never have come down to that.
Right.
They should have had the qualifying spot locked up already.
Yeah.
World Cup qualifying is a multiple year process.
Right, it's not just the last couple months it takes.
So this is a problem that has been... This has not been a good World Cup qualifying campaign.
No. This team just underachieved hard.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe
they're just that bad.
Maybe we just have... Maybe... I've read somewhere, or actually I listened to some analyst speak of the arrogance of this team. Maybe that's us just being arrogant, saying like, hey...
Perfect example of that is Bruce Arena before they even played Trinidad, talking junk about European teams.
I love your silent gestures that no one can see. No one can see that when you freak out. It's because my loud voice again. So I guess I can't have the mic facing me anymore.
No, you can't.
Chris
it's horrible.
Chris is so.
I don't even talk.
Anyway, back to Bruce Arena. That's what one of the things I was going to talk about is before we played Trinidad. The day before, he's calling out European countries saying, "Come play in CONCACAF and see how you do." When yet we haven't at that time we hadn't qualified for anything. And yet you go to here and talk trash to the European teams as if like the CONCACAF is brutal.
Yeah, there's not that many big teams in here, and it's clear. Do
you think Germany would have lost the third string Trinidad and Tobago?
I think Germany's like backups would not have lost.
Do you think France would have lost the third string Trinidad and Tobago?
I'm pretty sure France's team that's about 50 years old from like 20 years ago wouldn't have.
Do we think Spain, Italy,
not even close.
So on and so forth?
I'm pretty sure Ronaldo could have beat them by himself.
Probably.
Messi.
It's very frustrating for someone. I am a huge soccer fan, and I follow a lot of these players on club level too, and I see them perform. But then when they get to a collective group on the international stage, it leaves a lot to be desired. In this World Cup qualifying campaign, right? It's 10 games to qualify. There's 10 games they play, right? And this entire campaign, the United States won 1 game on the road. 1. And they know who that win was against? St. Vincent and Grenadine. That was the only time.
Where is that actually?
I think it's like a tiny little island.
It's a tiny little
island. In Central America or the Caribbean, somewhere in that area. That was the only time the U.S. men's national team won out of the country in the entire World Cup qualifying.
Just horrid.
So I don't understand. Maybe that's the disconnect. Is where does the confidence or arrogance come from
when you're not winning? I know it's horrible.
But even then, it's just like we're struggling to get a tie with Honduras. We're happy with a tie with Mexico.
Right.
We lost both times to Costa Rica by combined margin 6-0. We didn't score a goal against Costa Rica. They beat us 4-0 and 2-0. And Costa Rica qualified, so good for them, but if, like you said off air, a country, what, we have 330 plus million people?
Yeah, right. You can't find 23 players.
Just give me 11. Just give me 11.
You're right, 11.
Just give me a starting lineup first. We have one, Pulisic,
Yep.
that I am 100% confident in all the time.
And yeah, exactly. I remember when Josie Altidore was supposed to be the next big thing, and he just kind of has not done much. He's been hurt a lot.
He's very sporadic.
Yeah. And Clinton Dempsey. I remember Clinton Dempsey's supposed to be a big leader on this team.
Well, he's gotten old too. The problem is, I believe it's of the 23 players.
I think it was 19 of them were over 30.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
It's like, and I think 4 were under 23. Something like that.
One of those being Pulisic, yeah.
Yeah.
But this team, you could tell, was way too reliant on him. He's a 19-year-old kid.
I know. Why are we relying on the youngest dude on the team almost?
I mean, he's the best player, but I mean,
good, yeah.
I get, like, he scored against Trinidad, and yet we still lost.
Right.
So that should be he could score all he wants, but
you still need other players to kind of help the dude out, not just rely on the one guy.
I think the team selection was bad for Bruce Arena, and thank God he resigned.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he had no choice. It was get fired or resign.
It's the first step, hopefully, in making this better.
But that's the problem is, I think it's going to take more than just getting a new coach.
Oh god, oh yeah, it's going to take way more than that, but it's a step.
I've been talking all day about getting rid of Sunil Gulati, who is the president of the United States Soccer Federation.
He's too business for me. Too much business, but not enough player.
But the people that voted him in are all about the money.
Right.
They want because under Gulati, the USSF president, we made a lot of money.
Yeah,
the MLS has grown exponentially. It's gotten a lot bigger with global impact. We brought money in, but the on-product field, like 2 straight Olympics, our kids didn't qualify.
Right.
The last 2 Olympics, and those same kids are now on our senior team that just missed the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's a correlation. They can't qualify for the Olympics, and then when they're older, they don't qualify for the World Cup.
Plus,
Maybe we just aren't very good.
Different players.
Is that
better
ever occurred to
coaching?
anyone? Is that maybe we're just not as good as we think we are?
They need to do better developing these players. It comes down to development basically, and like you said there, you're missing 2 straight Olympics, and you have basically the same team playing to try to get to the World Cup. If you can't make the Olympics, the World Cup's a lot bigger than the Olympics.
Yeah, because the World Cup. Yeah.
At least talent-wise.
Well, I mean, the Olympics you can only be you have to be under 21 years old,
Right?
Except you have like 2 guys allowed to be over 23. But in terms of replacing Bruce Arena, I have 3 names that I think could be solid options. Not saying they're going to be overnight saviors, because this is not an overnight.
No, God, this is going to take till at least.
This is an infrastructure issue,
more
than it is, I think, anything else.
Right.
Because it's the whole paying to play for the
that is so dumb.
That turns off literally about 70% of your talent.
It's not like it's cheap.
What is it? $3,000 you said?
A lot of the clubs that I looked at, like the higher end elite clubs that we're supposed to be getting all of our talent from, they're all like $3,000 minimum just to play a season.
So the young people, so the people's family pay the money.
Yeah, your parents are paying $3,000 for this 14-year-old kid that could be the next,
or it could be a complete bust.
Right, he could be like, who knows? He could become Freddie Adu when he was supposed to be.
Oh God,
that head shake. Oh God, but no, he could be the next Clint Dempsey. Even then, he could be the next Landon Donovan. But is he going to pay $3,000, or is his family going to pay $3,000?
They might not be able to afford it. So
he's 14 years old. You're going to make these kids pay $3,000 plus another a lot of them are charging like $500.
And then traveling fees and stuff like
exactly.
that. Exactly.
Yeah. $500 jersey fees.
What?
Exactly. That's what I saw that. I read that number.
Where's that from? You pay $500. The players.
A lot of
pay $500 for
between
the jersey?
$200 and $500 for jersey fees.
Right, how much that's literally shutting off 75% of your talent pool.
Exactly.
So you go from $330 million, and you chop down 75% of that because none of them can afford it or want to spend that much money.
Right.
They got to 25%.
Yeah.
And then of those 25%, how many people actually can afford it and want to play soccer?
Exactly.
So you're probably just down to what, 15%?
If
All right. Let's go 12%. We'll go 12%. And then, now of those 12%, how many people are actually going to stick with it for more than a couple years?
Exactly.
So we're down to 7%?
Dude,
Roughly?
it just
5%,
keeps
okay. And then from 6%, you might get a few that actually hold on for a long time, right?
Right.
That are solid.
You'll get the
college
occasional
players and stuff like
right.
that, right? And then probably down to 3% that you actually can see playing for any sort of national team. Under
Right.
18s, under 20s, under 23s. So basically, we're looking at like 2% of the 330 million based off purely financials.
Yeah, that's just it. And even there, I saw they have scholarships in a lot of these, but then that actually, like, the scholarships turn people that don't get the scholarships off.
How so?
Like, more, because they're tired. Like, they end up charging more for the kids that have to pay for the scholarships. Which makes absolutely no sense to me at all either.
Huh. So I mean, basically, that's a money grab for the United States Soccer Federation.
Yes. It's horrible. With how many sponsors you have and how much money is going into this, you figure you'd be able to give out a lot more scholarships than you are. It's just, it's a mess.
But I don't know. He's in office at least until January, and then
The election's in February.
right,
And they have until, I think it was the beginning of December, for anybody to be nominated to go run against him, which, if I read correctly, there is basically nobody that has any chance.
Eric Winalda, a former U.S. international, and he's a current commentator for like Fox Sports and stuff like that. He is very serious about running as well, but he probably doesn't have the backing. Like I said, Galati brings in money, so
Right.
But maybe missing the World Cup is like the hey.
Right,
We're
it has to be
we're
something.
We're globally shamed and embarrassed, but the books are good.
We're making some money for now, at least. That might with them missing, you have to think that because I'm one of the soccer fans that only really watches
The big tournaments.
like the big tournaments. I'm not like you where I'm watching club games. I mean, if it's on, I'll kind of pay attention to it a little bit.
You'll drink a beer and then it goes off.
But like a lot of people, I know a lot of people that are the same way. They'll watch the international tournaments, the big tournaments where they're playing these national teams, where they're playing Germany, all that. But other than that, nobody's watching it. And now that they're not playing in this, that's another 4 years before they watch another soccer game.
Well,
Yeah,
because even the Gold Cup, which is like our regional
Yes,
big tournament,
yes.
isn't even that big of a deal anyway.
I watch it, but a lot of people don't.
Bruce Arena himself said it was a point in the tournament. I'm like,
Yeah, that's great. That's what you want to hear from your head coach.
Yeah, good job. Thanks, buddy. Hey, this tournament we're playing in, it doesn't mean that much to us. Oh, okay. Maybe that's
Apparently the biggest tournament you're playing in.
mentality is why we are where we are. Because like when I watch this team play, it's like they have zero resilience. They can't take another team. It's like when we played Costa Rica, and we lost 4-0 in one of the matchups against Costa Rica. It was decent. It was a pretty even keel game at first, and they scored one goal, and then we just collapsed. It's like, oh god, they scored. Costa Rica scored on us, and then it's all just collapsing from there. There's no mental fortitude on this team, which is weird for a team that's a bunch of guys over 30.
Right.
You would think these seasoned pros would be.
Hey guys, it's one goal. Let's go. But no, it's like they're all a bunch of 16-year-old kids that feel like they're getting overpowered by the other team and don't know how to fix it.
I really do think it's overconfidence, arrogance, whatever you want to call it, cockiness. Because they just expect that we're the United States of America.
Right.
And we are playing Costa Rica. We are playing Honduras. We're playing Trinidad and Tobago. And then just by us stepping off the bus, we should just automatically get a draw or a win.
Right.
That's not how it works.
No. Not even close.
It's 2017 where other countries have their own infrastructures now, and they're getting better.
And we're just
They're
staying the same or getting worse.
See, at best, we're running in place.
Yeah.
you've got, again, even for a country as big as us and as much money as we have, how many times are we just happy? Yep, we're in the World Cup. And then when we're at the World Cup, if we're out of the group stage, it's a success.
Right, which, why do we, once again, we're like the third biggest country in the world.
Right. Oh, we got out of the group stage in the World Cup. We get to play Ghana. Yeah. It's all gravy from here on out. What? How is it all gravy?
You gotta play to win, dude.
That mentality has permeated the United States soccer, on the men's side at least.
No, yeah,
the ladies,
the women's, they keep
doing
winning.
your thing, Carly Lloyd, Alex Morgan. The ladies kicking ass. They just won the World Cup.
They've
2
always
years
been
ago.
kicking ass. Always been
But
kicking
on the
ass.
men's side, it's just I don't understand the difference. Like, how can the women, under the same president, Galati, be doing so well, but then you look at the men's side and it's the complete opposite? I don't understand.
It baffles me as much as it baffles
where
you.
does the disconnect happen that the men have the same? They actually have more probably financial support than the women do. They have bigger,
Right.
They have a bigger network than the women do, and yet the women are the best in the world.
Yeah.
And you look at us as the men's side, and it's like what happens? So it has to be a mentality thing. It's the people that are on the day to day.
Right. It's some.
So that's to me where Galati leaving could be helpful, but I think it goes further. It goes down. It's the coaches every day.
Yeah, they need somebody that can put together a better team and develop a better team and keep their mentality in check instead of, like you said, why are you showing up to these games? Oh, we're the U.S. We should just win. Like, you clearly haven't been good. You haven't been good for a while.
Where does that come from? You haven't done
Like,
anything.
The whole, like, they're talking crap, but you don't win ever. It just
You haven't won. You won a couple Gold Cups. Whoop de frickin' do. And most of the teams they play in the Gold Cup are like the B teams anyway. You play your second string guys to prepare them for the World Cup.
Right. It baffles me how it's run just so badly.
But that's what I want to get. Is there's more money available for the men. There's more coaches available for the men. There's more networks and connections and sponsors and everything for the men. And they suck. And then you look at the women's side with the less resources in every aspect, and they won the World Cup 2 years ago.
All about development, Joe.
Okay, well then if that's the case, Jurgen Klinsmann, the previous manager before Bruce Arena, he was dedicated. He was giving the young guys chances. His average age was like in the mid to low 20s.
Right.
He was actually building for the future, but the problem with America is we don't have the patience for that.
Yeah, they don't.
We don't have the foresight to look 5 years in advance and say, if we keep at this trend, in 5 years these guys will grow up together and they'll be a strong core. And that's not what we have to do.
We want to win now.
We have to take all the old guys who from 2 World Cups ago,
right?
They made a quarterfinal run once. Yeah, let's bring them back to Spurna.
There's certain players that you got to keep, but you can't just keep running with the same guys over and over and over again.
That really ticked me off was during the Gold Cup. I think it was this year. I think it was earlier this summer. Is Bruce Arena took his youngsters for the group stage in the Gold Cup. So the Gold Cup is when you play all the teams in this region, the CONCACAF region, Central America, that kind of stuff. And Bruce Arena took the young kids for the group stage. And the young kids qualified out of the group stage. They advanced to the knockout round. But then, this is where I got really annoyed. Is he let the young kids get out of the group stage, but once he got to the knockout round, he brought up all the old guys. He brought all the old guys in. And the young guys didn't see the field again.
I don't see why that just stunts their growth.
Me,
that makes you.
That's a slap in the face of the guys who got out of the group.
That you clearly that makes you think that your coach doesn't trust you to do anything.
Right. Like, hey, coach, we just got you out of the group stage, but wait, no,
We're
can't
bringing
play.
in the old guys. Supposedly the big guns, which they clearly aren't anymore.
That right there, I don't think there's a better example of Bruce Arena and just the United States mismanagement of the United States men's national team. Your kids got you into the knockout round of the Gold Cup, and your response is to say thanks, but now we're done with you. We're bringing in the old dogs.
Which actually makes no sense from what you said that Arena said about the Gold Cup being it's just a major who gives a shit. My bad.
Sorry, I'm drinking, but I'm gesturing that yes.
If you don't care, why are you bringing in the big guns? Let the young kids play.
That's exactly...
Once again, development! It's gonna make them better!
But that also goes back to the young team, like under 23s missed 2 straight Olympics.
Yeah.
That's now the core of our team that just missed the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go. It's the under 23s, it's the under 21s, it's the under 18s. It's all the way down to it's each level. Which, by the way, I've always wondered why there's like they're 3 years apart or 2 years apart. Under 21s, under 23s. I've always wondered is there a huge difference?
I don't
in,
really
like,
think
talent?
that,
I don't. That's like one thing I've never understood.
I've never got those because it's the same way with like a lot of the hockey teams.
Yeah.
There's U18, U20, U22s, U20.
Like
what?
does that year and a half really make a huge difference? I mean, I guess it
Is
could.
there that many people though that you could get a decent
From a pool, yeah,
Right.
that's true. Well, it's like one of the 3 coaches that I think should be at least considered is Caleb Porter. He's the current coach of the Portland Timbers in the MLS. Mm-hmm. And he was a former coach of the under 23s that did miss the Olympics. Yes, he was the coach of that. But at least he has some sort of presence and knowledge of how the things work.
Right.
And at Portland, he's very much a player's coach. So he defends his guys to the podium. He's gung ho, energetic, passionate kind of guy, which is what we need. Because Bruce Arena's stoic, emotionless zombie face.
I never saw him with any other face besides just his
bland.
His RBS, his RBF. His wrestling bitch face. Just
I was like, wait, what the hell's RBF?
his wrestling bitch face. Like that dude, like he never showed emotion. Like you need emotion. Like if you're like playing sports, I don't know, you've probably seen this too. If your coach just sits there, you do something good and he does nothing. Like you're like, okay, I guess he doesn't really think that was good. Like show some emotion.
Do you think when the kids get out of the group stage of the Gold Cup, he was in the locker room? Thanks, guys, but I'm bringing in the old boys now.
Thanks, guys.
You can go home now. I'm bringing
Here's
in
your
the
tickets
old
so you can hop on the plane.
It's on the USSF. Don't worry. Here comes Michael Bradley. Here they come. Here comes Bally Bradley.
Bally Bradley. Oh God.
Clint, thank you. I missed you, Clint. Thanks. It's like the Bueller guy.
Bueller.
Clint. Like it's just that's one thing that Caleb Porter can bring to the table is his energy and passion.
Right.
Another coach that I think could be considered is Gerardo Martino. Now, this is a guy with proven... He took Paraguay to the quarterfinals of the 2010 World Cup. All right. So, no offense to Paraguay. They're not one of the hot powers of South America. And Martino took him to the quarterfinals of a World Cup. And he's now currently the head coach of the Atlanta United, who are an expansion team in the MLS, and this is their first year. He's got them in the top 3 in the East with 68 goals. So, not only is he a proven track record on the international stage, he's showing it on the club level, playing an attractive, attacking, aggressive style, which would suit someone like a Pulisic. So he's proven international record. He's good at developing young players because obviously as an expansion team, you have to have a lot of youth in your side. And he's developing a lot of those guys as well, too. So I think Martino would probably be a really good fit. I don't know I know you don't know much about him, but from what I said...
if you're taking Paraguay to where he took him in the World Cup, he's got to be pretty good at his job.
Scoring 68 goals with the expansion team in the first year. With the kids,
exactly, an expansion team.
So and then the last one I have is Peter Vermes, who's the manager of Sporting KC. And he's won league titles and cup titles with them. Mm-hmm. He's more of a professional, like a business-like kind of... He's kind of like Bruce Arena, but he's a proven winner. And at this point, maybe what we need is a winner. Because Bruce Arena has coached before, and we didn't win anything with him, besides a couple of Gold Cups, which, again, he's established that he doesn't like
junk
anyway.
tournament, okay.
So, at least Vermes is a winner. But I would think Martino is the best bet. For me. For us going forward, he's the most well-rounded. He can develop the youth that we do have. Because we do have young talent. They just weren't giving a chance. They're not... Because we don't have the patience for them to have a chance. I mean, that could rant forever.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be fixed overnight. It's just really going to suck, to be honest. Like
they may be bad for a little bit. Or a while, actually.
But the one thing though is when you're making this trade, you can't just completely cut off all the old guys. You can't just cut them all out.
You gotta have
a bridge.
You have to have not talent. Well, duh, you have to have talent, but you have to have like the senior players to kind of mentor the new guys in.
But see, it's the ones who you keep is because obviously most of those guys are gotta go.
Right. You just gotta figure out which ones. Like your coaches, coach you get has to figure out which ones to keep to kind of help develop the guys
who
that you
would
come
even want
out.
to stay.
Right, that's true.
Because I think Dempsey's retiring from international football. He's like in his mid-30s too.
Yeah, he's old.
So what a bummer way for him.
I keep hearing Tim Howard's gonna retire every year for like the last.
He needs
since
to
the World Cup.
He needs to go.
He looked really slow in that Trinidad game.
He needs to go. Well, a lot of people were blaming the pitch and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's
how do you blame the field?
That's more of the arrogance of just like it's
just because the field was wet.
Yeah.
Ooh, it rained.
I mean, sure, it's we're playing in a tiny little stadium in Trinidad, and
with no fans. By the way, they blame that. I heard that one too.
They blamed that
there was no fans there.
That Trinidad had no fans means that we play bad.
Yeah, it made no sense to me.
That's
I'm like,
literally the
what?
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
What?
That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why?
You guys don't have enough fans to root against us, so as a result, we're gonna play bad. Is that a serious thing?
It's just
Do we know who said that? Do we know who said that?
I don't remember where I heard it.
I swear to you now, if I
don't,
I'm gonna go punch that person in the face.
I heard
You're telling me?
I was like, no, stop. This can't be real.
This came from players.
I really don't remember. I just heard it one day. I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard it from somebody.
From a reputable source.
It was. I believe I heard it on ESPN. So somebody had to say it for them to be like, "Oh, this happened." I'm like,
so. Your stadium does not have enough fans rooting against me. So as a result of you having no one to yell at and cheer at me, I'm going to play worse?
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be the opposite? That's like the Bears going to Lambeau Field and when it's empty, and the Packers win, and the Bears saying, well, there was no Packers fans in the stadium to yell at us, so we couldn't play well.
I heard it and I literally laughed.
That's the Broncos going to Oakland and like, well, the black hole was empty, so we couldn't play our best today. What?
I feel like that would it would mess with the other team more. Like I don't.
That's what it's like. It
just makes no sense.
You would think the opposite would happen.
I know.
Like, oh look, no.
Our fans don't like us. That's cool, but no, it's your fans don't like you. We're gonna not play well. It's just, oh god, it's horrible. It was horrible. I laughed when I heard it.
So basically,
I could not believe that somebody actually said that.
I want to try to find out who that was because that is annoying as hell. But so basically, what we've established here in the last 27-ish minutes is that the men's side of U.S. soccer is in shambles.
The women's.
The ladies, do your thing, girls.
Keep winning.
Do your thing.
Get them
ladies.
W's.
The men are in shambles. I want Martino. Can we agree? We want Martino.
Would be okay with that.
Make us Paraguay, Martino. Take us to the quarterfinals, baby.
Us Paraguay. Dude, if you can take Paraguay, you should be able to take us a little farther.
You would think. But then again, who the hell knows? We need to get rid of the pay for play.
Yes.
We need to separate.
That's a big main thing that I've heard from literally everybody.
Separate business and
the
play.
game. Yep.
And be patient, because it's not going to be an overnight fix.
God, no.
It's not going to be done magically.
It's kind of been like teams, like baseball teams, that keep trying to win games, even though they're the 500 team marginal 500
for the last 8 years.
Exactly. Like they keep trying to win, but you know they're not going to win.
It's like they're half-assing it.
But they keep trying, and you're just like, just lose already.
Maybe this is what we needed.
That's kind of what I thought the next day after they lost to Trinidad. Was maybe
I still would prefer to be there.
Well, yes, but
I want us to learn while we're at the World Cup.
It's this thing. It's the way that they think. You win you lose at the World Cup. We're at the World Cup. They're good.
Just think about how much money the bars are going to lose too. Like those during
the games. Yes, like
the
B-Dubs. Oh my gosh! Every time I went to B-Dubs almost for every game, and it's just packed.
So it's money losing for everybody.
Oh god, yes.
And it's disappointment for everybody. It's more embarrassment. I'm not even disappointed. I'm just
embarrassed.
Like, and ashamed. Because I'm not arrogant, am I? I don't think we're arrogant.
No, I hope not. Jeez. You figure you're, like I said, third biggest country in the world.
It's like us taking this podcast to Trinidad and say, we're in Trinidad. This would be the best damn podcast ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Trinidad.
And then we come out with a shit show.
Yeah.
So basically, get your act together, U.S. National Soccer Federation, all right? Otherwise, I'm
Do we need you to go Eddie Lacy on this guy?
I mean, I'm basically giving a speech to like the entire federation, which I don't know if I have that capability just yet. So we'll save that for a later day. We'll table the sad, disappointing, bitter ranting.
Let me get in your face.
And we're gonna shift to a different kind of ranting and bitterness.
Oh, God.
When we discuss the Major League Baseball playoffs, namely that wacky, fluky, absurdly annoying Cubs Nationals NLDS Game 5 that resulted in a
there was
Cubs
so much
9-8
F-ups. So much F-ups that it's just, it was horrible.
win. Which one stood out to you the most?
The first inning, Trey Turner's tag kind of pissed me off.
Well, the play when Javi Baez...
No. That pissed me off, too, when he ran home on that
Or the one
hard-ass
where
grounder.
he missed the tag.
Literally, all you got to do. He went for the swipe tag. Why? I hate swipe tags. Just
Why?
put your glove on the damn ground. You put your glove on the ground, he's going to slide right into it.
I think he would have beat the throw, though, to be honest.
It didn't look like he beat the throw. It looked like the tag was there.
John Jay is not the fastest guy in the world.
No,
is he?
he's quick. He's not fast. But
Yeah.
if that tag would have just he would have plopped it down. He swiped over his leg.
See, what to me, like, when Michael Taylor hit that 3-run home run to put Washington up 4-1 off Hendricks, I'm like, whoa.
I thought that was gonna.
I was like, Hendricks doesn't have it tonight. The Nationals
Right.
home park is rocking.
Yes.
Michael Taylor is the new Daniel Murphy, and we're gonna rock and roll. Yeah, let's do this.
By the way, I have no idea how he hit that ball. That thing was at his eyes.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was really.
It was outside and at his eyes, and I'm like, how?
whatever. More
It's
power.
out to whatever, man.
But I will say credit to the Cubs.
Yes.
I will say
that's
Joe
why-
Madden keeping the faith in Hendricks to keep him out there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you look at the other side, Gio Gonzalez was actually had a lead and he was gone.
Yeah,
and Hendricks was still.
I
in.
would have let him go.
Who, Gio?
I would.
Oh no,
Gio,
hell
no, I would have let him not. I would have had him on a short leash.
Shorter than they had him.
Yes,
he
I would have
gave
put him
up-
out for the next inning, and if he gave up a base runner,
Which he
I would
did.
have yanked him.
Which he did, but then he left him in and he got up another one.
But it just, it was horrid.
Then we have to get to the 5th inning, the Scherzer inning.
That dude, man,
What? How? If you're a Washington Nationals fan, you can't. What are you supposed to do when Max Scherzer, who's been like unhuman for 5 years now, mainly the last
pretty long.
Like he's been literally one of the 3 best pitchers in baseball. Mm-hmm. Dominant.
Oh yeah.
Dominant.
Oh, yeah.
Including having a no-hit bid through 6 innings in that very series.
Especially and he comes out. What is he? He struck out the first 2 guys, didn't he?
Yeah,
on 3
You know
pitches?
who he went through? Rizzo and Bryant.
No bums.
Not a problem.
No bums.
And Washington was rocking and rolling.
Dude, that was
They had
Contreras.
They had a lead. Scherzer just mowed through. Like I said, Brian and Rizzo win 3 pitches. 3 freaking pitches. And then, that's, I guess, what you could really say is baseball? Question mark? Like, the things that happened after that inning.
Just...
It was just a disaster. Passed ball. Javi Baez striking out. And then Matt Wieters losing the ball and then deciding it was a good idea to throw to first anyway and missing first 7 feet to the left.
That was a horrible
Like,
throw.
first of all,
what are you doing?
the ball rolled from, like, the grass to the outfield. He didn't even get the ball there in the air.
No, it was horrible.
He, like, spiked it into the ground and it rolled into the outfield.
Matt Wieters had an awful day.
Besides the one bunt against the shift.
It's bad when the best thing you did was bunt.
As a catcher.
As a catcher, it's bad because because he came up in the inning with the bases loaded with 2 outs at 1 inning, and swings at a pitch a foot outside and hits a fly ball to Hayward in the inning. Like, have some patience, dude.
Yeah, his bat has died the last couple of years.
Yeah, and he was supposedly a Gold Glove.
He was a Gold Glover. I mean, but that in Game 5 he was not Gold Glove caliber.
It was.
But that 5th inning is just It just was so fluky. And then Addison Russell grips the 2-run double down the line after he's hitting like 215 all year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, off Max Scherzer in the biggest moment of the year. Credit to Russell, I suppose. But you just don't expect that from Max Scherzer after he cruised through the 2 best hitters on the lineup with 2 pitches. And then it's just the walks. He started nibbling, and then you could see even with his crazy eyes, you could see there was something like he was confused. He's like, wait a minute. He's
like, what's going on?
After the whole Javi Baez striking out, pass, ball, run scoring, whatever, Wieters went out to talk to Scherzer, and they both they didn't know what to say.
They're like, why am I out here? I never do this.
Why did you come out here? And he's like walking around, Wieters scratching his head. Like, they looked legitimately like stunned as like, what? I don't know what to do right now. Like, I literally have no idea what to do right now.
It's just that whole inning. There was 2 opposite sides of the spectrum. It just went from really, really good to really, really crazy.
Little update for Game 2 of the ALCS right now. Carlos Correa just hit a solo home run off of Luis Severino.
Is that the first run of the game?
Yes. We'll get to the ALCS in a little bit. But back to this. I mean, it was a great game. Game 5.
Oh my God, seriously?
I kind of wish it was a Game 7 for a spot in the World Series.
That would have... Oh my God. That would have been great. I think some people would have had heart attacks.
I mean, I will say... Credit to the Cubs for battling and battling and battling, but then even when the Cubs took the lead, the Nationals kept battling back.
Mm-hmm.
Like they refused to die.
It was back and forth,
and they chipped away. They got her, but then what really killed it all? Wade Davis, as amazing he has been this year, he was on the ropes. The Nationals were throwing body shots all night at him, and they finally had 2 on. With Trey Turner at the dish in a 3-1 count. After Davis had thrown 3 straight balls that weren't even close. Mm-hmm. With the big boys on deck. Ready to rock and roll. And I'm telling you now, I legitimately had a very strong feeling that Turner was going to bust that game open. He was having the best game of his series.
It killed his momentum when he got thrown out. It killed the momentum because he came up and just looked kind of
Well, that's why I'm saying, like...
But when he was there, that 3-1 pitch, it would have been... I feel he had that
he was
momentum.
He was having the best game of the series that night. 2 hits, stolen base, run scored. He was making shit happen all over the place.
He was being Trey Turner.
Yes, and Wilson Contreras,
the dude does it.
Impressive as he's one of the few catchers that throws behind. Runners on first.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for the Nationals, their backup catcher
Jose Lobaton.
Lobaton, yeah. When he slid, his foot popped off the back for a snap. Just a snap. And like that, rally over Wade Davis off the hook.
I hate that. That is the dumbest use of replay I've ever seen. I mean, it's great for the Cubs, but
Why is it dumb? I mean, isn't that the point of replay is to get it right?
But you're going to have that decide a game, though, in the playoffs.
But that's the point of replay.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Then why have replay if you're not? Why
because I mean, yeah, his foot popped off, but even Rizzo himself said he wasn't totally sure he kept the tag on.
But the camera shows that he did, though.
Man, didn't clearly. I had a lot of people's.
I know. Is this your bias coming through? I think it's
a little bit. It probably is a little bit, but
what I'm saying is you can't pick and choose what replay could be used for.
Right,
If you have replay to get every call correct.
Right. It
doesn't matter when it takes place in the game or what game it's taking place in. If you have replay, you have to use. You can't be select. The league can't be selective. Well,
we're not going to call
those things. No, we can't have games ending that way. No, that's just it ends how it ends.
Right.
Because there wasn't going to be any replay unless Joe Madden challenged. So he's the one who challenged. So if you're mad at anybody, you're mad at Joe Madden.
I hate Joe Madden.
Tell Joe Madden not to challenge. That's your next is your best bet.
Right. It also comes down to the fact that why a player doesn't really know how to slide correctly. Because that slide was not a good slide. He slid way too late. Catcher. I know. You still need to learn how to slide. You're a Major League Ball player.
Yeah, well, a lot of Major League Baseball players do a lot of things bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's
like how many outfielders you see catch the ball with 2 hands? like you're supposed to. Secure the ball in the glove.
I don't think any have.
Exactly. How many just lackadaisical this one hand little scoop thing?
A lot, like literally all.
Exactly. How many NFL receivers catch the ball with their chest?
Way too damn
like 90%. We could do that.
We just can't run the 4-3s.
Right. Like they don't even use their hands. I can run and have Rodgers stick a ball in my chest.
Exactly. The thing is too, they're wearing these gloves. It's just the ball sticks to them.
There's there's talent obviously, but those are things that we could do. But anyway, it's just
yeah.
One of my pet peeves is NFL receivers not catching the ball.
Not catching the ball with their hands, yeah.
But it was a great game.
It was good. It was good.
It was as you
that
said,
replay was a momentum killer.
I think I'm telling you, that won them the game because Davis.
If that doesn't happen, David, like you said, he probably gives up a run
at least.
And even if he doesn't, it kind of your inning doesn't end on a
the way it ended is what it does the most. It's like they felt like they didn't have a chance.
Pickoff.
Yeah,
like
they didn't have a chance. Yeah,
you're taking the bat out of his hand. You're not giving the kid a chance, especially like you said, the best game he's had all series. He didn't look like he was trying it. Like the first 4 games, he looked like he was pushing way too hard. But then you take the bat out of his hands and he feels like, oh, now I have nothing. Like,
I will say credit to Wade Davis for actually. First of all, they sent him out the next inning, which I thought I didn't agree with that.
I totally thought that.
But then he went through Turner, Worth, and Harper
to end the
1,
game.
2, 3 to end the game. But that's if you're Washington. Your last batter of the season is Bryce Harper.
You figure you have a decent chance.
You can't ask for more.
No, God, no.
Like, if he wants the $500 million contract, he does something there.
Yeah, instead of...
But I will say, the pitch he struck out on was one of the nastiest.
It was a nasty curveball, yo.
Like, it was filthy.
It was a filthy curveball.
But I'm just saying, if you're Bryce Harper and you want to be a $500 million player... That is the moment.
Get a dang hit, dude.
That moment right there is where you make your money.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't do anything.
Still, he's a great player. But how many? But also
how clutch is he?
Earlier in the game, also, what did he have? Like 2 on or whatever. He had the bases loaded. He was up with the bases loaded and he flew out. It was a sac fly RBI. But you don't. $500 million guys don't give sac flies with bases loaded.
Right. I remember that pitch. It was a slider. That
was a hittable pitch.
It kept sliding, and he hit it off the end.
Yeah.
And for hitting it off the end, it went really far.
Well, yeah.
If he would have, like, an extra half an inch,
barreled it up.
That thing is gone. Well, we're talking about the Nats playing against the Dodgers.
You don't pay a guy $500, whatever the hell he wants, $500 million for sac flies with the bases loaded in playoff games.
Hell no. I can pay somebody, like, a tenth of that.
Anyone could do it, put a bat in the ball, get a fly ball, and drive in a run. But
okay, I don't know about anyone. But
most
ball players that are going to play constantly
can put a bat in the ball and get it in the air in that situation.
Ryan Braun in the last month of the season.
Fair enough. But I totally lost my train of thought. Basically, it was just bashing more bashing Bryce Harper. It's that kind of thing that in a decisive playoff game, in an elimination, winner-take-all game, you are the face of the franchise. Bases loaded at home. Pitchers on the rope. And a pitch to hit. And you overswing and get it off the end of the bat. And then at the end, you can't even put the ball in play. Bryce Harper. And that's your turn for the Eddie Lacy speech, Bryce Harper.
Oh, why do I have to give Bryce Harper a speech?
I'm pointing at him, but I'm actually pointing at you.
Oh, you're pointing at me and him, Bryce Harper?
I'm pointing at you because you're Bryce Harper. Yeah.
Oh, I'm Bryce Harper. I wish I was Bryce Harper.
You are not a $400 million player, Bryce Harper. You're probably $200 million.
You're going to get paid.
But you lost $200 million in my eyes with those 2 at bats right there.
He's a good player, but
there's a lot he does that leaves a lot to be desired.
I mean, he's got the cannon. He's got the speed.
Ish.
I mean, he's got decent speed.
He's not Billy Hamilton.
Well, nobody's Billy Hamilton
Turner.
except for Trey Turner.
D. Gordon.
D. Gordon. Oh, God, yes, he's fast. Speaking of D. Gordon, God, I hope the Brewers trade for him this offseason.
Dyson. Who wins in a 40-yard dash? Dyson, Hamilton, Turner, Gordon.
40-yard dash? Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I don't know who gets off the line faster.
Yeah.
It all depends who gets off. If it's home to third, it's Billy Hamilton.
Home to third. Why not home to first?
Because I don't know how fast Billy Hamilton takes to speed up.
But what's the difference between home to third? Either way, way, he still has to have acceleration.
Yeah, but Billy
you
Hamilton's
mean running?
top speed.
You mean running to a triple?
Yes.
Oh, I was like, what
No,
the hell?
not that. Not like straight line.
I was like, what the hell? Home to
Like,
third doesn't make
why?
any sense at all.
Why would you say no? No, Billy Hamilton. I've seen him get to third in like 10 seconds, like 10, 12 seconds. It's
Moncada did the
obnoxious.
fastest this year, actually.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Moncada's got some wheels, bro.
I know he does. He's an all around talent. It's all if he can just keep his
5'2",
head and
baby.
keep improving.
Keep doing you, Yohan. But back to the Nationals Cubs here. So Nationals, do you realize, I listened to the radio today, Dusty Baker, in elimination winner-take-all games, he's lost 5 in a row as a manager.
I don't think he's ever won one.
He's 1-5.
There you go. Okay.
He's lost 5 in a row. And it started with the 0-3 loss the Bartman year with the Cubs. So he's lost 5 straight. And then on the flip side, in elimination winner-take-all games, Joe Madden, 5-1.
Joe Madden.
And that ties for the most single winner-take-all game wins by manager with Bruce Bochy and I forget the guy's name from like the 50s.
The guy's name from the 50s. Yeah.
But that's Dusty 1-5 with 5 straight winner-take-all.
That just shows
losses.
you the management.
Madden 5-1.
Exactly. Madden is just so much better than Dusty Baker.
At the press conference, Dusty Baker looked like I always felt so bad. He looked like
they had the game.
He looked like a defeated man. Like he sat down at the podium and he just looked like crushed. Like I'm not a Nationals fan.
Oh, I'm not.
But my God, I wanted to give him a hug. Like that
Come
man.
here, Dusty.
Like he, and then when they asked him the question, he literally just it pained me to listen to him answer these questions because you could tell that he knew that they should have won that game.
Oh yeah.
But see, you also could tell that he knew that it was baseball and that some of those fluky things
Baseball happens.
They're gonna happen, and that's the problem is you could do all the things you want right. You could have Strasburg throw perfect game 4.
Mm-hmm.
You could have Scherzer, your absolute bona fide stud workhorse ace, coming in the 5th. You could have everything planned perfectly, but it still won't matter because you're Dusty Baker or you're the Nationals and you're cursed.
Yeah.
Do you realize?
We're going to start talking about Nationals curse.
Do you realize that the Nationals in the last 5 years, 4 times, have won 95 plus games? In all 4 years, they haven't gotten past the NLDS.
I think they keep losing in 5.
How does that make sense? You win 95 games or more, 4 out of 5 years, and you don't have one playoff series win? Not one?
It makes
and
no
the way
sense.
they lose is like
It's just so
brutal.
You're just like, oh.
Like it's like last year against the Dodgers, Game 5 at home again, and they were winning that game too. Before some fluky stuff happened with Justin Turner, and then this year, like if I'm a Washington fan, like good God, I don't know if I'm getting out of bed for a week.
God, all their sports teams are cursed though.
Like it's just Dusty Baker. I felt ridiculously sad for him. Like he looked like a crushed, defeated man.
There's not a whole lot he could have done differently.
I don't think that game was on. Maybe he could have taken out Gio a little earlier, or I don't know something. There's a few things he could have done, but I think he made the right call going to Scherzer.
Yeah.
I think he made the right call when he went to Madsen, Doolittle, all that kind of stuff. It's just you can't predict for things like a Scherzer fluke inning where everything can go wrong.
Foot to pop off the base.
Right. You can't. That's not Dusty. So even that's the first thing he talked about was the pickoff and how it crushed. Because he even said we had Davis on the ropes and everyone saw it.
It crushed the spirits.
Wade Davis, as much as amazing as he's been, he was wavering. He was swaying, and if this is a boxing fight, his hands would have been down.
He's turned into this year's Chapman, is what it is.
But I think he's better than Chapman.
I mean, he's better than Chapman, yeah.
But they ride him like.
They're riding.
To his credit, he came back out and put down Turner, put down Worth, and then put down Bryce. I mean, but I think that break in between innings really helped him refocus and reshape.
Oh God, yeah.
So that
Wade Davis is one of the legit closers.
Yeah,
Like,
he was like 32 for 33 in saves this year.
who was the 33? Oh, Travis Shaw.
Such a Brewers fan, bro. You are such a Brewers fan.
I know.
I just, wrapping up that series, I'm not a Nationals fan. And I hate the Cubs. I will proudly say
both
that.
hate the Cubs.
But A, amazing game.
Yes.
B, I wish it was a game 7. I wish they had a 7-game series, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And C, I felt absolutely gutted for Dusty Baker. Just the way he looked. Like, he looked like an old man. Like, it sounds weird, but like sometimes you forget, like, a lot of baseball managers, like, they are old.
They're old,
but, like,
yes.
when you're out there, they're kind of in their element. It's like, whatever. But then he literally just looked old and tired.
Well,
like,
yeah. You're
it's
old and just the adrenaline of the game, and then you get crushed.
And it's like, I have to come back and do this again? Which I'm sure next year they'll be.
He's gonna. They're gonna be. They're gonna.
He'll
be
be a
good
favorite
next year.
again next year.
They're
And they'll
gonna be
probably
good
win
next year.
95 games again.
What? We were actually when I was actually texting you. They have so much talent. So much talent.
Still, yeah.
What exactly can you improve on that team?
That is the issue.
What can you can get a better catcher.
Usually you have something like, oh, well, this is the flaw.
Some
Like last
big
year,
major piece.
Last year for them, it was the bullpen.
Yes, they fixed it.
They got Doolittle,
Matt.
Madsen, Kinsler.
Exactly.
Done.
There you go.
There's no holes except maybe catcher. So that, I think, is what makes it worse, is they could not have a more complete team, and yet they still
They're
fail.
still losing.
Like, what else are you supposed to do? Like, that's so I think, again, wrapping up Nationals, sorry, not a Nationals
It
side,
just keeps going.
like, that I think is the most difficult thing for the thing as a fan and the organization to comprehend is there's literally almost 0 holes on that roster. Mm-hmm. And it's still not good enough. Still.
They're cursed, dude.
It has to be. And credit to the Cubs. The Cubs have morphed from being cursed to now they won.
They're a team. They know how to win.
Now, yeah.
They just know how to
they
win. That's
And
just
now,
how the teams are now.
Can they figure out how to win against the Dodgers?
And
NLCS
it's
preview.
going to be a good
Starting
good
tonight,
series.
actually. Or Saturday, I don't know when you guys listen to this. Dodgers won 104 games, best record in baseball, even with a 13-game losing streak.
Yeah,
It's somewhere squeezed in there.
because you win 40 out of 50.
That's typically pretty good if you go 41-9 on a 50-game stretch.
You win 40 out of 50. That's
Just saying.
how the heck you don't lose a series for 3 months?
The Cubs have announced that Jose Quintana is pitching Game 1.
That's
of
what
the
I was
NLCS.
hearing that.
So it's
I was hearing
Quintana versus Kershaw.
That it should be a good game.
Game 2, the Dodgers lowering Rich Hill. They're saving you Darvish for the Game 3.
They did that in the first series too.
So, but the difference is this is a 7-game series.
True.
Instead of a 5-game
True.
series.
I mean, that kind of saves him if they want to use him and start him in 7 if it goes there. I
I
still think if it gets to 7, Kershaw pitches 3 games.
I think this is very similar because like Washington had Strasburg, Scherzer, and then the Dodgers have Kershaw, Darvish. Yeah, Alex Wood had a great year. Rich Hill is solid, but it's Darvish and Kershaw.
It's Darvish and Kershaw's their best.
So it's basically Darvish and Kershaw versus Quintana, Lester, Arrieta, Hendricks again. We saw last series that it worked out for the Cubs.
Yep.
Narrowly, but it worked out for the Cubs. Coming to this one, though, I think the Dodgers losing, I don't even know this, no Corey Seager.
Is he out
the NLCS.
the series?
Correct. Because if he had played and he got hurt again, he wouldn't be eligible for the World Series.
Okay.
So they're banking on the fact that they go to the World Series so he can return for the World Series.
Right now they're just hoping that Culberson can bridge it.
Yes. So no Corey Seager is obviously a massive
It's
loss.
a big. He was there. What? Was he hitting leadoff or was he hitting 2-hole?
He hit
Barely.
wherever they needed him to. But the Dodgers, it doesn't make sense that I'm not confident in a 104-win team. I wouldn't be stunned if the Cubs 1-5, but then again, I wouldn't be stunned if the Dodgers 1-7.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what the series is going to... I have no freaking clue what's going to happen in the series.
It is a rematch of last year's NLCS that the Cubs won in 6 games.
Which is why I have almost no... I don't...
And both games the Cubs lost, they were shut out in games 2 and 3. They lost game 2 last year, 1-0, the Kershaw. And then game 3, they lost 6-0. So actually, the Dodgers were up 2-1 last year. And then the Cubs exploded for 10 runs in LA. The Addison Russell Grand Slam.
Yeah.
All that stuff that propelled them on to the glory and all that nonsense. But I could see that happening again this year. I think they lose game one. I think because they're just so much taken out of them from that
No,
game
yeah,
five, and
definitely.
they used every pitcher and then some.
They took a while to get to LA too. Did you hear
they
about
had to
that
get
plane ride?
Redirected flights and stuff. Yeah, and it's just they used up their entire Lester through 4 or 5 innings of relief. Quintana even came in for 12 pitches, which isn't a whole lot.
He's gonna have.
I
I
think
mean,
it's
not very abbreviated. What's going to be abbreviated?
ish. I think
Ish, that's what I'm
Theo
saying, not
Epstein
very.
said it was basically equivalent of a
bullpen
side
session?
session.
Yeah.
Just with the season on the line.
Exactly. You got a little more adrenaline than a bullpen session. Don't die on me, Joe.
I finished all my Mountain Dew, so now I have nothing to swallow now. So I'm sad.
I have no dew.
One thing I think is key though with this series that it's kind of weird. You won't expect it. Is the ace in the hole for the Dodgers in the bullpen, Kenta Maeda.
Oh yes, coming out the
Because
bullpen. That's actually
the Cubs have a lot of righties, the good righties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they have the Bryants, the Wilson. It's Contreras, by the way, not Contreras.
whatever.
He's very particular about it. He apparently made it public. Anyway, this year, as a starter, Maeda, righties, this is their slash line against Kenta Maeda.
I don't
Ready?
need to hear this one.
214, 258, 389.
Ooh,
So righties are hitting 214 against him.
it's pretty good.
So I'm telling you this now. This in the NLDS against the Diamondbacks, he pitched 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down with 4 Ks. Now I think Maeda is going to see a lot of Chris Bryant.
Yep.
I think he's going to see a lot of Contreras and a lot of Baez and a lot of Russell. He's going to be one of those. He can go long if you need him to,
Right.
but he can also be a spotlight just against the righties if you need him to do that too. I think Kenta Maeda is going to be a utility ace in the hole. He's kind of like their Andrew Miller, but not really. That kind
Stop
of
calling
same.
the dude Andrew Miller because he ain't gonna be Andrew Miller.
Well, then he's going to be
I get
their
what you're saying. I
secret
get what you're
weapon
saying.
out of the bullpen. I mean, that slash line does not lie.
That's
a
a pretty dang
258
good slash
OBP
line.
against righties. I mean, that's
It's a pretty good slash line.
now. I don't. I like Kendricks. I like Quintana. I don't know about Arrieta and the hamstring. Coming off 90 pitches, all the walks, his control, his command wasn't there. But I mean, he's one of those guys who can just come out. Would you be stunned? He came out through 7 scoreless.
God, no.
So
He won a Cy Young for a reason.
I mean, he obviously has dropped off
Well,
a
a
level
little,
from
yeah,
that point, but
He's still a pretty decent
Yes,
pitcher.
correct.
I mean, not as much as he wants to get paid, but he's still a decent pitcher.
it's I don't want to pick the Cubs to win the series. I really don't. But I just don't trust the Dodgers.
I don't at all.
They haven't proven to me that they can beat quality opponents in a 7-game series or just in big moments. Mm-hmm. Even Kershaw.
I mean,
He's gotten better.
Kershaw, I don't know, I saw this. He's actually tied with Bumgarner for the most postseason wins since like 2012 or something
That's
like that.
weird.
It's really weird.
That doesn't make sense to me at all, actually.
Mad Bum was just a monster. But he's tied with him for
It
most
doesn't make
postseason
sense
wins.
whatsoever. Anyway, I guess congratulations. I would still take Bumgarner in the
I
postseason.
still would too. That dude just turns it on.
But I think I'm a huge fan of Yu Darvish,
Yeah.
but it's just that the Cubs can go 4 deep with like they basically have like 4 number ones or like the 1 number 1 and 3 high twos.
3 high twos, yep.
Like it's something like in that vicinity.
I think for the Dodgers to
Rich
win
Hill,
this series,
Dude,
Rich Hill, he depends which Rich Hill you get, really. Like if he can only go 2 innings,
that's what happens when he's like 38 years old.
if he can only go 2 innings, they're gonna lose both the games he pitches.
If he can pitch 2 games.
Right. You might decide his second game that you're like, yeah, we're gonna go somebody
Well,
else.
the Dodgers also said that Kershaw won't pitch on short rest, which is why they named Alex Wood the starter for Game 4. But they said that before, and he's done it before.
No,
And you telling me if they're down 3-0
if they go down,
or 2-1 even?
yeah, exactly. If they go down, if they're losing the series going into Game 4, Kershaw's pitching.
I mean, Alex Wood's been great.
Yes, I don't see why he's not pitching instead of Rich Hill.
I guess
Experience? I don't know.
Because Rich Hill has so much more playoff experience.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, the only experience he has is he's like 10
Didn't
years
Alex
older.
Wood hit a home run in the NLCS last year against the Dodgers?
Probably. Who knows?
Or that's Travis Wood, not Alex.
Different Wood.
It was
Different
Travis Wood, right?
Travis Wood pitched for the Cubs.
They were the reliever, yeah. Speaking of the Cubs, the Cubs bullpen, though, besides Davis,
Trash.
Carl Edwards, good God. Good God. Carl Edwards Jr. Talk about falling off the face of the earth. Like,
He did it in the playoffs last year, too.
well, Rondon, decent option. Decent.
Too unreliable.
Strope,
that whole bullpen is
Strope
too
is up and down,
unreliable.
too. Montgomery's typically solid, but it's not. You can't put. I mean, you could put Montgomery in a late game situation as but I wouldn't
If
be
you have a
confident.
big right-handed hitter
It's
coming up, I
basically
would not
they're
put
going
him
to
against
ride or die with Wade. Kind of like Chapman. You said Chapman last year,
him. Exactly.
but Carl Edwards was so good this year, and he's just like against in Game 5, he walked one guy and that was it. He faced one batter, walked him. Joe Maddon's like, nope.
What in the world?
That was the world's shortest
I was
leash.
like, why? What in the heck? I figured they'd let him go a little longer,
I mean,
but then, jeez.
How does that crush your confidence if you're Carl? If like you face one batter, you walked him, done.
You're done. Get out. Okay.
But what? I do nope.
Do you remember the other day
Nope.
when I got out of that and was going
Yeah,
hard?
but do you remember the day before that when you
when you gave up Bryce Harper's home run? Yeah.
Convenient. But I want you to make a prediction for the National League
series?
Championship Series. Or what are your thoughts on the thing? What do you think is the X factor? You know mine
It's
already.
gonna be Kershaw. If Kershaw pitches 3 games, the Dodgers are gonna win.
And if he
in my
doesn't,
opinion.
do you think he's going to pitch 3 games?
I think it's gonna go back to Chicago, or it's gonna be Game 4. I think the Cubs are gonna be up 2-1, and then I think Kershaw's gonna
so
come.
he's going to win?
I think Kershaw would win all 3.
So basically you're saying Kershaw's
Kershaw's gonna win all 3.
So Kershaw's going to be, or they're going to lose in 7, which is going to be.
Right. I think the Dodgers are going to win the series
So
in 7.
it's basically the Los Angeles Kershaws
Yes.
beating
Yes.
the Chicago
It's
Cubs. No love for you? You Darvish? No love
no.
for
Well,
He gets
is
the 4th win.
Darvish gets win number 4 because Rich Hill's not winning a game. Rich Hill's not. It's going to be crazy.
Even
I'm going to
without
predict.
Corey Seager, huh?
Yes. I know that kind of threw me off a little bit. I had before I saw Seager's not playing, I had the Dodgers in the World Series, but now it's kind of like, I
No,
don't
you
know.
didn't. You had the Nationals in the World Series.
No, from today.
Oh, I was like,
not in the.
how convenient.
not-
Just slide
just-
that in. You do realize these episodes are recorded, right? And we can go back and
No,
look at our
I edited it
craptastic
all.
predictions.
I edited it.
Go Astros, please God, go Astros. At least for me, you're done now. Your those World Series picks are gone. Speaking of Astros, so you have Dodgers in 7.
Dodgers in 7.
I have.
Only if Kershaw pitches 3
God
games.
bless. I'm not going to pick a prediction.
You can't do that.
On to the ALCS. Cubs in 7. On to the
Cubs in
ALCS.
7. Okay.
Cubs in 7. Though I'm rooting against that,
Yes.
but I think it's going to happen. Okay, ALCS. Last night, Game 1, Dallas Keuchel, bona fide stud muffin
dude
that
was a
his
monster.
B is, with
He
his
was a
glorious
monster.
beard. 7 scoreless innings, 10 Ks. Stros take Game 1, ALCS 2-1. Shut down the Bronx Bombers. But we've seen this before from the Yankees. They were shut down in the first 2 games by the Indians. But I think the difference is, though, the Astros, I think, are a better team than the Indians, in my opinion.
I thought that the Indians' best team in baseball.
I know. You were all on the Cleveland
God,
Rocks. Remember the whole Drew Carey spiel last time?
Yeah, I remember that Drew Carey spiel.
You were all about now. I think the Astros with Altuve, Correa, Springer, Gonzalez, Reddick, so on and so forth. There's so much talent. And then Keuchel, Verlander. Currently, by the way, they're winning Game 2 right now.
They're still 1-0.
Yeah, and then Luis Severino, Yankees starter, left the game after getting hit with a comebacker. So the Astros are trying to go up 2-0 right now behind Keuchel and Verlander. And see, the difference is, though, if they go up 2-0, even though it's best of 7 now, I think it's over.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think they might lose Game 3, but I don't think it's gonna go past 6. I think is the longest it goes.
I can see the Astros winning. I think the Astros win in 6. I can see that. Because
see
there's
that
3
going
games
6.
in New York. The Yankees' offense will get hot at least once or twice. Aaron Judge will run into a ball.
Maybe.
Gary Sanchez will run into a ball. Didi Gregorius apparently is a home run savant now.
Greg Bird to hit
I
bombs.
do like Greg Bird. He hit that home run on the ninth inning last time as well.
I feel like, did he hit the top of the pole?
Yeah.
It hit the top of the pole.
But I think the Astros win in 6. Yeah, I like that.
Six is the farthest it goes.
What Kershaw is to the Dodgers, Keuchel is to the Stros, if not more important.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Dallas Keuchel, while he's not flashy, though last night 10 Ks and 7 scoreless is pretty damn flashy, typically it's not Dallas Keuchel.
He only throws 90.
Yeah, I've seen him touch 92, but he's more of those, he pitches to contact. He's a pitcher. He's a Kyle Hendricks. I would love to see a Keuchel Hendricks matchup. That'd be pretty sweet to look. Because those are two guys that actually pitch.
Right, it's not just I'm throwing the ball 100. Oh, it's tied.
Oh. Score?
Man, they scored in the top of the 5th. That was like 20 minutes ago. Frazier had a ground rule double and Hicks scored.
So is it 1-1?
1-1.
Is Verlander still on the hill?
Let me double check. Conley's pitching right now for the Yankees.
Tommy Conley. Former White Sox. You're welcome, Yankees.
Let's see here. Verlander is still in as of now. He is at 82 pitches, so he's probably going back out for 7.
So he's throwing the ball well.
Yes, he's got 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 8 Ks.
Okay, so he's throwing the ball really well.
82 pitches through 6.
All right, and Severino's gone with the line.
Severino's gone. Yep, I think. Conley's the only one that. Oh dang, Severino kind of was. He had no Ks in 4 innings, but he only gave up 2 hits.
And one of them was the solo home run to Correa.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, even regardless, I think if it's 1-1 after this game, I still have faith in that. I think the Astros just have so much talent, bro. I think they have the MVP in Jose Altuve. They have a future MVP in Carlos Correa.
Bregman.
Max Bregman.
Not a bum.
They have a stud all-star in George Springer.
Marwin Gonzalez out of nowhere.
A renaissance year this year. I think the Astros win in 6.
By the way, he's got a cannon.
Yes.
We all found that out yesterday.
I think the Astros win in 6. Even if they, regardless of the Game 2 result. Because I love and I trust in Dallas Keuchel. Mm-hmm. I've been, ever since before 2015, before his breakout year, I was talking about before that Cy Young year. Last year he got hurt, and this year he's healthy again, and lo and behold, positive results. Getting Verlander, I think, was clutch, but they still have Lance McCullers or Colin McHugh if needed, and
who is their Game 3 starter?
The Astros have way too much talent for the Yankees. I like Tanaka, but he's too up and down.
Oh, Charlie Morton. I forgot about Charlie Morton.
That's another one. Who you got? Astros, Yankees?
I have Astros.
Why?
If Houston's just got too much. They've got too much, and I feel like the Yankees they kind of blew their load in Cleveland. I don't think
premature Yankees.
I think they just they burnt themselves out. I think Judge burnt himself out before the playoffs started, but I don't like. I mean, this is why I picked Cleveland to win. I don't like the Yankees at all. I mean, I like
the Yankees, or
I don't like the players.
Okay, gotcha.
Gregorius somehow is popping up out of nowhere, but can he keep that going?
Probably not. I mean, hope not.
I mean, but will Judge pick it up? I don't know.
I'm sure
not again. I don't think against Verlander or Keuchel.
He's bound to run into one.
I think tomorrow he's probably going to have his best game of the playoffs, going against Charlie Morton.
That's a weird guy to throw. I don't know why. I would have thrown McCullers, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know why Charlie Morton.
Charlie Morton's a solid pitcher,
right? But McCullers, McHugh.
So you have the Astros in 5.
if they win tonight in 5, if they lose tonight in 6.
So both of us have it stopping at 6 no more.
Yeah, and 6 is not. Game 7 is not happening.
I mean, it is what we said earlier.
Baseball.
So who knows? But yeah, I think that. I mean, I think it's kind of funny how we segmented this. Oh yeah, baseball for 20 minutes, and here we are, 38 minutes later for baseball.
I knew. Are we going to talk about the Marlins again, though?
Did you order your Justin Bour jersey?
No, I'm about to, though.
Were you getting the orange one or the black one?
I was getting the black one.
Oh, I'm getting the orange one?
You look better in orange.
I do. You ever see me in orange? Have you ever seen me wear orange?
No, because I usually see you wear navy blue.
Yeah, nah, yeah, it's true. Well, green Iowa right now, and then blacks, and then actually the only orange, quote unquote orange jersey I've had was, I'm really embarrassed to say this, a Josh Freeman creamsicle.
Hey, Josh Freeman was legit his rookie year. After that, I have no idea what happened. No clue what happened.
I still owe my buddies the chance to piss on that jersey. Because we said we were going to pee on it and run
I'm
it
really
over.
surprised that you haven't pissed on that jersey.
I just haven't found the time. It's just hanging on my
Should
closet.
set that thing by your toilet and everything just good.
But yeah, so Cubs in 7 for me. You say Dodgers in 7.
Dodgers in
So,
7.
I'm rooting against the Cubs. And then Astros in 6 for me. And pick one.
5.
Astros in 5. What do you think? I think that'll be a nice little, put a little bow on baseball. And now we can talk about something we haven't talked about in any episode yet. It's that, speaking of orange, basketball. The National Basketball Association the regular season begins in earnest next week. Are you excited?
I am kind of excited. I'm excited
As
for
you wear your Ray Allen Bucks
Ray
t-shirt.
Allen. God, Ray Allen, man, my favorite player of all time.
Why are you like stroking you? You're like stroking yourself or Ray Allen? I
Ray
can't
Allen.
tell which one you're doing right
Ray
now.
Allen jersey.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. I was kind of upset last year.
Kessler like Ray Allen.
I was kind of upset last year because there was rumors going around that the Bucks were going to sign Ray Allen instead of Jason Terry.
I mean,
He
Jason Terry
actually
balled out for you.
visited. I mean, it did work out, yes. Ray Allen visited, talked to him, and I think they kind of told him that he was going to get the Jason Terry role, and he was like, "I want a bigger role," and they wouldn't give it to him. So I was like,
You're like 50
whatever.
years old, Ray Allen. Goddamn.
He can still shoot a basketball though.
Yeah, what kind of role does he want? Starting? You can't
No, I think he wanted more than what did Terry play last year? Like 10,
18?
15 minutes a game.
Explosive off the bench, man. Explosive off
Dude,
the bench.
man, he's
Dude,
good in spurts.
This NBA offseason,
It's been a
Kevin Durant
crazy offseason
bitching and crying,
because that's all he does now.
creating Twitter accounts and then feeling bad about it. Like, I can't believe in myself. I tweeted that. I'm such a terrible person. The fact that he has to defend himself, he feels the need to defend himself, annoys me. Like, be a man, like, ball
he
up,
signed with
man.
Golden State, and it pissed me off, and I hate him now. So
The Oklahoma City Thunder making moves, not one, but two, Marquis. Bringing in Paul George and Melo.
Paul George. Okay, you can't. They stole Paul George,
You mean, yeah.
Oladipo, and wait, who else did they give up? The dude they drafted last year from Gonzaga.
Sabonis?
Yeah.
Domantas Sabonis.
He may become something pretty good, but right now,
We know Paul George.
exactly, he could be Paul George.
I like Oladipo. Good little
Oladipo-
player. Going home to Indiana,
yeah,
all that
you can
stuff.
see how he scores. He's a pretty decent scorer.
He's a good player. He's
good
just not
player.
Paul George. But my problem with the whole OKC trio now, this is a legitimate big three. This is a legit
Oh, yes.
big three.
Russ.
PG-13, Melo. My problem with it, though, is there's no balance to me.
Oh God, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Someone, we had this conversation on our Facebook page, said like, "Oh, Russ driving and kicking to the corners for Paul George and Melo."
That's not gonna happen.
I'm like, okay, I don't think either one of them agreed to go there to stand in the corner. That's not.
This is
Do you know his name is Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo wants the ball.
Carmelo Anthony does not stand in the corner unless he's on defense.
Is he even in the corner or on the court at all?
What's funny is I'm probably the biggest Melo defender. I love me some. He's one of my 5 favorite players of all time.
He's just been on a really bad
But-
team the last couple of years.
His defense has actually gotten a lot better. I think he gets a bad rap just in general. I think he's a better leader than people give him to. Porzingis credited everything he did last year to Melo and his leadership. When you had talent around him, conference finals with Nuggets, 54 wins with the Knicks, J.R. Smith, all them boys. When he has guys around him, good stuff happens.
I mean, what did he have last year? Porzingis and Melo. After that, I mean, you had a hurt Derrick Rose.
Now Derrick Rose's his hair's flopping around in Cleveland.
Yeah, man, he's going to be playing 15 minutes a game. So.
He might play a lot more because Isaiah's hip is destroyed. That's another big trade. Kyrie's gone. Kyrie is a Boston Celtic. And Isaiah Thomas, broken hip, 31-year-old, 5'5" Isaiah Thomas is what the Cavs decided to, hey, Bron, stay here, and we'll give you a 5'5" guy with a broken hip.
And the number 1 pick.
And Jay Crowder.
And the number 1 pick.
No.
Nah, it's not going to be the number 1
It's
pick.
locked.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
it is protected.
Come
What
on.
is it, top 3?
Something like that, yeah. So that's their pitch. The Cavaliers' pitch to keep LeBron is trading Kyrie Irving away.
Okay, good to know.
Bringing in a broken-hipped 31-year-old Isaiah coming off the best year of his career, which is probably going to be the peak of his career, if we're being serious.
He's always been a solid player. He's not going to do what he did last year.
That's going to be the peak, especially with his hip issue malfunctions.
Who knows? Like, I've heard he keeps saying he's coming back in, like, November, and I'm like,
Jay Crowder, solid player.
He's a solid bench player.
But he's not, I mean...
He's nothing special.
You what you just said? Solid bench player. I mean, that's... I'm sure
he's not even a 6 man.
LeBron's like, ooh, Jay Crowder?
Yeah.
You know what, Cleveland?
You got
5 more years.
You got some sick dreads, though.
You know what, Cleveland? 5 more years. You got me Jay Crowder and a broken-hipped Isaiah Thomas. Well, how else
and D Rose.
Oh, and D Wade. And D Wade.
Yeah, but D Wade's on a 1-year contract, so they're going to go to the same place next year.
Starting now. Do you realize that?
Yeah, I saw that. And now JR's pissed.
Obviously. So the Cavaliers basically have a 55-year-old Dwayne Wade. They have a 30-year-old broken-hip Isaiah Thomas. They have a 29-year-old crippled Derrick Rose. They have a shooting challenged Tristan Thompson. They have a serviceable role player, Jay Crowder, and they have a great shooter, Kyle Korver, and they have a microwave head case shooting J.R. Smith and LeBron James. So
you know what the bad thing is? Out of everything you just said, you forgot one player. And he's like the second highest paid player on that team.
Oh, Kevin Love. See, that's how invisible he
is. That's how bad he's been. My God.
Kevin, I think fine.
I think he's actually their starting center.
You have a undersized center.
Exactly.
That likes to play outside more than it.
That when he left Minnesota, his career just ended.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Okay,
he got a ring, but
but it wasn't because of him.
I mean, he contributed. He made that stop on Steph Curry, bro. Yeah, he did. He did lock him down for the 3-point line. I've never seen Kevin Love's hips move so smoothly before. He's like, what in the world?
He probably hadn't either.
He was like possessed. He was like, he probably just blacked out at the moment. He was like,
take over.
And then he looked around. Whoa, what just happened?
I did something.
I'm here. What? My team is lifting me up. What is going on? But that and what's the sad part is that team is probably going to be the best team in the East still.
It's because of LeBron.
But Boston's coming like a freight train.
Dude, I like Boston this year. Kyrie, Al Horford,
Jason Tatum.
I love Jason Tatum.
I
know you love Jay Tatum. You're a Duke lover.
Yeah, but he's also a smooth.
He's
call him Jay Smooth, man.
He's good. He is a good ball player.
They still got Jaylen Brown.
Yes, they got. How you get Kyrie Irving without giving up Tatum, Brown, and you gave up Isaiah Thomas in his broke ass hip.
Yeah, on the north side of 30
like,
for a prime Kyrie Irving. You see Kyrie's throwing shade at Cleveland?
He's been throwing shade at Cleveland since before
Boston's
they
more of a sports town than Cleveland, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, it kind of is, but...
I mean, Cleveland just has... They have great fans, they just have shitty luck.
Yeah, he's a child in my mind. He just...
Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, he can't not talk.
Yeah, I mean... a lot of times, though, his play does
it
back up his
He's
talk.
a good player.
He's a great player.
He's a
great player. I mean, come on.
But let your play do all the talking sometimes. Like
not everyone could be Tim Duncan or David Robinson. With this,
I know Tim Duncan just sit there. Hey guys, I scored 50 today.
Right, and not everyone's built that way, and that's fine.
Right.
Just don't do it 24/7. Like he's deliberate. I think at this point he's just deliberately poking the bear. Right. He's poking the bear because he got out. He's our age, and if I was to ever leave like my current job, I'm not going to be. Well, Nissan is real dealership, not CarMax.
Real dealership.
Like it's just like that's dumb. So the Celtics are loaded. The Danny Ainge is probably one of the 5 best GMs in sports.
Oh God, yes.
Loading up with the picks and all the talent he's getting. Mm-hmm. And they got Gordon Hayward. Did you even mention?
Oh my Lord! How did we forget Gordon Hayward?
I didn't. You forgot. You mentioned the Celtics roster. Gordon Hayward.
God dang, their starting lineup is legit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you have Kyrie, you have Tatum, Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford still there. Like that's
I have to look up the rest
a
of that roster.
stacked roster. And I think they could actually push the Cavs for the 1 seed.
Well, they did it this year with broke-ass hip Isaiah.
They got the 1 seed, yeah. But actually, yeah, I can see it. But there's another team in the East that I think is even on the rise that not a lot of people talk about. We mentioned Washington sports and their bad luck.
John Wall.
But, I mean, John Wall and Bradley Beal are doing their very darndest, damn near their best, to bring Washington to the promised land. And I think they're right there.
They're close.
I think they are on the absolute cusp. They were just there last year, too. I think, and they got to the, didn't they? I mean, they were the second round of the Boston, right?
I believe so.
They pushed Boston all the way.
They pushed Boston pretty hard.
I think John Wall is actually a better player than Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
He's a better defender.
He's a better all around.
He's a better
guy.
defender. He's a better facilitator. He's sure as hell faster.
He's not as good of a scorer.
He scores in different ways.
Yes.
He attacks the rim with ferocity. John Wall is like MVP Derrick Rose when he just throws his body in the rim. The difference being John Wall is built like a tank.
John Wall's a monster.
So John Wall, Bradley Beal finally can stay. If he can just stay healthy, Bradley Beal,
He's a monster too.
was showed like that backcourt duo can keep them in any series with any team.
I mean, your third
Agreed.
option is Otto Porter too. He ain't no bum.
He got $100 million.
He got paid a lot.
I was like, whoa, Otto Porter got $100 million. What in the world?
If he would have went somewhere else, I think where he was more of not the third fiddle. I think he would have basically earned his $100 million a little better. But he's going to get paid $100 million to average.
He's a very good number 3.
Yeah, he's going to get paid $100 million to average, 10 points a game?
He'll probably do more than that. And then also in the East, you have the Raptors, old steady. DeRozan, Lowry, Serge Ibaka, Jonas Valanciunas, Norman Powell just signed a 4-year extension for $50 million. Mm-hmm. Norman Powell is explosive as heck.
Underrated.
I like Norman Powell. I like the Raptors, to be honest.
They're
I always say this if my favorite team didn't exist.
They always freaking lose.
If the Spurs didn't exist, I would probably be a Toronto Raptors fan. Which is saying a lot weird. Maybe I like Toronto, because if the White Sox didn't exist, I might be a Blue Jays fan.
I like the Blue Jays.
Are we saying I should do I have a Toronto?
I mean, you said the same thing about Colorado, though, too, so.
Yeah, but there's no Colorado. Well, there's the Denver Nuggets, I guess, but I don't like the Nuggets. Maybe it's Toronto. I don't know. But the Raptors, I like DeMar DeRozan. You see, Kevin Durant this offseason said that he learned his dribbling skills, his footwork, from DeRozan. He watched DeRozan because he says DeMar DeRozan has the best footwork in the NBA.
He's got pretty good footwork.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's speaking volumes of DeMar DeRozan.
How much
that Kevin
people
Durant
think of you.
Right. Kyle Lowry is a great regular season point guard.
Yeah, once you get to the postseason, he falls apart.
He does more than that. He's just truly just 28% shooting.
Yeah.
From your franchise point guard in 2 straight postseasons.
I don't know. But how much did he get paid now?
A lot of money.
He got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
He'll get you to the playoffs, and once you get there, who knows what the hell's going to happen?
That's why they had to. I think Serge Ibaka was a great addition last year, and DeMar DeRozan I think has to take over. I mean, he takes over games, but I think a lot of his bromance with Kyle Lowry,
it's got to end.
It doesn't allow him. I think he defers a lot to Lowry when he should just say, you know what,
give me the ball.
I'm taking over this damn game right now.
He's the best player on the team.
Yeah.
That dude is the best player on the team. There's no reason that he shouldn't be taking over in the big time. Kyle Lowry should not. Kyle Lowry is a pretty good point guard, but he's not DeMar DeRozan, give me the ball, let me shoot it, let me score. He's not as good as DeMar.
I'm listening intently, and you
stop talking.
I saw the frustration building as you just. I if I'm the Raptors, if I'm Reggie, right? I can't say their owner's name. He's GM's. He's a really good GM.
Oh yeah, I remember his. Yeah.
At one point, do you move a 32-year-old Kyle Lowry for a different?
It's not going to be this year.
Why not?
Because you just signed him, to that big contract.
I
And
mean,
that kind of that's a kind of a save face thing.
there's a team out there in the NBA, I'm sure, that would take Kyle Lowry in that contract.
Well, I'm not saying that there's not a team that would take it. It's just kind of a save face thing where you just sign this guy to this big contract and trade him 6 months after you sign him. Like, that kind of pushes players away.
You want to win, you can't make friends. We just scolded DeMar DeRozan saying he's got to end the bromance. Well, it's time for the Raptors to end the bromance with Kyle Lowry too.
Yeah,
He has to know that he is expendable.
I
think he's complacent.
didn't like that they signed him. I think they should have let him go, like a sign and trade type thing. I didn't like that they signed him.
I think he feels like he's irreplaceable. And I think when he gets pushed and challenged is when he plays his best.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to see, like, hey, all right, DeMar is taking off, Serge is taking off, Jonas, they don't need me here, but okay, I'm going to make them need me, you know?
Right.
Because this Raptors team could be a top 2 team. And they
have the talent.
I don't think they will be.
No.
But they could be.
They could be.
But they're not going to. I mean, they're behind
There's definitely
Washington.
the potential.
I think they're kind of on par with Washington, maybe a little bit behind because John Wall's far better than Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
And Beal kind of cancels out DeRozan.
Yeah.
But they're definitely behind Boston. And I guess they're behind Cleveland because they can't beat Cleveland in the playoffs. So until you beat Cleveland in the series,
nobody can beat Cleveland in the playoffs apparently, except for the Warriors.
The Celtics came close.
They came close, yeah.
But close isn't actually doing it. So on the Western Conference side, I'm a Spurs fan. Kawhi Leonard missing the season opener against the Timberwolves. No timetable for his return. His quad injury.
The quad.
MVP candidate.
They're tricky.
Thank the goodness we signed Rudy. I think Rudy Gay signing is going to prove to be a steal.
It all depends on his health. If he stays healthy, that dude is a baller.
Yes. He's like a 19 points a game scorer in his career.
Yes.
Efficient scoring.
Yes.
6'8", wing, great defender, perimeter defender too. And we got him on the cheap. He took less money, significantly less. My 2 years, $19 million to come to play for us.
It's the power of pop, baby.
But it's looking genius now with Kawhi missing the first game because he can just plug Rudy Gay right in at the 3.
Plug Rudy in.
So Tony Parker is saying he's going to return in December or November. Originally it was February.
Right.
But I'm happy with Patty Mills. I love me some Patty Mills is incredible. I love Patty Mills. His tenacity and Danny Green needs to have a good year because he's gone downhill ever since the finals performance. Mm-hmm. I think the Spurs will be the Spurs.
Spurs, yeah,
50
Spurs
wins,
are always the Spurs.
50 wins to proceed. Warriors.
I think Pop could just win 50 games with some hobos, but
sometimes he has. Warriors are going to do the Warriors thing.
wins.
Draymond Green, they all know they don't got a shot. I hate Draymond Green. Stop talking.
Yeah, I really don't like the Warriors because Draymond Green makes it worse.
I think the Warriors don't win more than 65 games. Wow, so
no, 65. I mean, trash.
I think I can see them going like 60 wins, 62-ish. I don't know. I just think
they've got the offensive capability to.
I just think OKC gotten a lot better. The Spurs are the Spurs. The Blazers, I think, can improve. I mean, if LaMarcus Aldridge goes back to Blazers form, the Spurs are right there with Kawhi.
Spurs are finals favorites to me if they have.
Well, they were last year with a shitty with Aldridge and an amazing Kawhi.
Right.
If you keep the amazing Kawhi at a once again good Aldridge, and Danny Green being once again able to hit threes for once in his life, I'm telling you, it's been downhill since that finals performance.
Yeah, no, he's been kind of iffy. But
the Timberwolves, the sexy pick is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler, Wiggins with his new contract extension, 5 years, $150 million.
Mm-hmm.
Cat, Karl Anthony Towns.
He's a monster.
I mean, no more Zach LaVine, who's now Chicago
Bull.
That word, that one. I had a mini stroke. I got excited there. I like Zach LaVine, but I think that trade was won. Chris Dunn, good player, be decent for the Bulls. LaVine and Dunn would be okay.
LaVine, Dunn. What is it? They got LaVine, Dunn, and
Lauri
Markkanen.
Yeah, Lauri Markkanen.
For
they drafted Markkanen.
Yeah, but it was with the Timberwolves pick.
Yeah.
Because then they traded their pick for some dude from Creighton.
You're right. But I think Jimmy Butler... The problem, though, is Butler is way too similar to Wiggins.
Yeah, that's I kind of didn't get it because of that.
It has to be the Tibbs connection.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing super small ball.
I mean,
With Rubio, Butler, Wiggins.
Rubio's not even on Minnesota.
Oh, yeah,
no,
duh.
He's in Utah.
Utah.
Because Gordon Hayward wanted Rubio,
Right.
and then he went to Boston.
And they flip-flopped. Yeah, you're right. Who is there? Who is the point guard in Minnesota then?
God, I don't even remember. Let me check this real quick.
I feel like... No, it's... What is his name?
We're totally...
Jeff Teague. Isn't it Jeff Teague?
Oh, yeah.
It is Jeff Teague,
Jeff
yeah.
Teague.
Yeah, because he signed a 3-year deal there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because then there was that whole... I remember, because they were one of the teams that were in on Kyrie.
Mm-hmm. Which
Like, what are we doing with Jeff Teague?
Right. So yeah, they can have Teague at the 1, Wiggins at the 2, Butler at the 3. I guess you put Towns at the 4 or the 5.
Towns is at the 4, and
they have Taj as well, I
they
guess.
got Gorgie Jang. Which, if he can ever put anything together, the dude is...
He's athletic. They also have Shabazz Muhammad too, and Jamal Crawford on that team. Jamal Crawford and
Pretty
Shabazz
dang-
off the bench.
pretty
That's
good
scoring.
bench.
That's scoring punch off the bench right there.
That is a good scoring team.
Tyus Jones, former Duke, Taj Gibson on there.
Taj.
Cole. I mean, that's a good team. Is it a
They're
playoff
pretty
team?
deep. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's like
6 to 8.
6 to 8 team.
Timberwolves, because Thibodeau, as long as he doesn't ride them into the freaking ground,
Yeah, if he doesn't play their starters the whole game, like
he'll ride Butler and he'll ride Towns. I think.
Exactly. He's going to have a 7-man rotation.
But looking at this roster, he should have at least an 8 or 9.
It should be, but
it is.
Tibbs has the reputation of running 6 players all night.
Yeah, it's true. So I think Timberwolves would be the sexy pick, but also I see a lot of growing pains and gelling pains.
Yeah. No, like their big year, it's not going to be this year. Next year, I think, is going to be the year that kind of proves what they actually are. The year after they kind of...
I can see that. What do you think OKC finishes in the West?
I'm going to go 3. I think 3. Because my 1-2 is going to be the same as it was last year. Golden State, San Antonio.
What do you have, Houston?
Houston? No, my bad. OKC's a 4. OKC's a 4.
So you still have Houston ahead of the big 3 of OKC.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else behind it, really.
Seriously, OKC and Houston, they're 2 teams that I'm not... They could flip-flop. It depends how they all gel.
Do you think James Harden falls back to earth a little bit?
He's not going to handle the ball as much.
Right, with CP3, obviously.
He'll score just as much, in my opinion. He's not going to get the 12 assists a game that he was getting.
I mean, when you have a combination of CP3, Harden, and Eric Gordon, potentially at the court at the same time, like that,
scoring
like that,
they're gonna rival the Golden State Warriors in points per game this year.
and tempo and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because they're gonna be a quick team.
Trevor Ariza's a great wing defender. They have Nene still. I mean, the Rockets are. What I don't like about the Rockets, adding CP3 helps with the defensive side of the ball a lot, but you can't guard 5 spots.
Right. I mean, Harden
Rockets,
doesn't play defense.
Ariza has gotten worse defensively.
He's getting old.
Ryan Anderson doesn't know what defense is.
Nene
is just gotten old.
Yeah.
And then Harden, we all know, is James Harden. So the Rockets, like I said, the difference between the Rockets and Golden State is Golden State can defend when they have to. Houston can't stop anybody when they have to.
Houston's going to lose games 130 to 125.
Basically.
They're going to lose a lot of games. Well, not a lot of games like that, but they're going to lose...
I think they'll win 50+.
Well, yeah.
I think
3 seed.
I think there's at least 4 to 5 teams in the West that win at least 50 to 52 games. Houston, 50+. OKC, 50+. Spurs, Warriors, all 50+.
Yeah, at least.
At least, yeah, because you still have the Portlands of the world.
Portland. What
Memphis.
did they?
You have the
Memphis
Memphises of the world too. But
I don't know how Memphis is going. I don't have Memphis really in the playoffs this year because
the Greary train finally over.
They don't have Tony Allen shutting people down on defense anymore.
But that backcourt duo, man, is legitimately like
Conley.
For like you have Wall, Beal, McCollum, Lillard. Who would you take?
Oh, you mean you're talking about Portland? I was talking about Memphis.
Oh, I mean, I agreed. Memphis. I moved Portland as well because they have Yusuf Nurkic.
No, Portland. I have as a 5. I think they're the
could see
5th
that.
best team in that conference.
Their scoring backcourt with Dame and McCollum.
God, man, I was actually rooting for them to get Melo.
That would have been. See, I don't know if that would have been good for them because they flow a lot. They flow really nicely in offense.
Mm-hmm.
They go outside in, inside out because they have Yusuf Nurkic now, who's a freaking tank.
That dude is a
beast.
monster.
Myers Leonard's solid, and they have Noah Vonleh, Indiana product. He improved a
He's
lot
getting
in the
better.
stretch
He's getting
last
better.
year. They drafted Caleb Swanigan and Zach Collins, actually. I mean, I like
Swanigan. He's going to be a hard one because of how fast that they could play. He's not quick. He's like the size of Shaq almost.
This is not Purdue anymore.
That's that. Like I had a couple people tell me, "Oh, I want the Bucks to pick Swanigan." I'm like, no, they play too dang fast. They play too fast.
I'm very surprised on our Eastern Conference analysis we did not bring up the Milwaukee Bucks.
Wait, what?
We didn't bring up the Bucks.
I know you just kept flowing. I didn't want to interrupt it.
Well, you could. I mean, you're wearing the Bucks t-shirt. Bring it up. Slide in there with this.
We'll get to the Bucks after we talk about the rest of this Western Conference stuff. We're going back. We're going to flow on back in.
We're saving the best for the last. Is that what it is?
Exactly.
All right.
Giannis.
Portland. They're not. My only issue with them is they don't have the depth, the quality.
They don't have a lot of size either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more worried about their depth.
Yeah, because I mean, after Dame and McCollum, your guards are. Morrow got cut, so that doesn't even. Evan Turner.
Evan Turner's a solid all-around player. He does a lot of things good, not anything great.
Yeah.
They have Archie Goodwin too, but
Archie Goodwin's been on too many teams. Oh, they have Isaiah Briscoe. God, for being from Kentucky, I really don't like him.
So I could see the Blazers a 5. They're borderline 48 wins. What? What are you confused for?
I was just skipping.
What?
We're good.
You pointed at the audio track as if something was happening.
Skipping.
Oh, because it's just the quietness. Oh, it just does that. Just adding it up.
Okay, all right, we're good then. They have Ed Davis too. Ed Davis ain't bad.
Yeah, but I think at best they're at 5.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna. They're gonna be a first round exit. I mean, 5 through 8.
Depending on the matchup.
Yeah, they could eliminate somebody, but it's gonna be hard. If they get paired up with Houston, they could eliminate Houston.
Yeah, they match up pretty well in terms of scoring and stuff like that. Yeah.
It all depends on how these teams gel.
Yeah,
like I don't know how Houston's gonna gel.
I can't predict playoff matchups right now
because I don't. It's the NBA. It's like stuff like you could have. I mean, you've got the players are gonna be the players. Like you know exactly who's gonna be good and who's not gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
But you just don't know like with the gelling of the new players. It's really hard to because. OKC, like we were talking about, you got 3 guys that want the ball in their hands at all times. I don't know how that's going to work.
It might work amazing.
It could. It could just be horrible.
Or somewhere in the middle, which is probably what it will be.
But Chris Paul and James Harden.
Paul and Chris Harden.
Yeah. Who the fuck are these guys? No. But I think they actually, because Paul might not average a lot of points this year.
He'll get his like 15.
He'll get it, yeah, which is kind of
that's
not
Chris Paul. He's not like a 25-point a game scorer
No, he's
anymore.
not. But I think it might drop a little bit, just because he's got Harden, Gordon, all these other shooters around him.
Clippers falling down though without him, I think.
Yeah, I mean they've got a lot of guys that can pass.
I don't trust Blake to carry a team.
I don't trust Blake to stay healthy for more than 20 games.
Hence, you can't carry a team. You can't carry a team.
He'll carry the team and his leg will snap. So.
And DeAndre Jordan, I think without CP3 throwing him those lobs, he becomes one-dimensional.
It all depends because the guy they picked up from Europe, what's his name? Was it Milos or something?
I can't remember the guy's name.
The dude supposedly is already the best passer in the NBA.
But we're all forgetting that Lonzo Ball is going to take the Lakers to the NBA championship this year.
Lonzo Ball is going to take the Lakers to a little higher than the Lakers were last year.
And still not in the playoffs.
They're going to be nowhere close to the playoffs.
LeVar
Sleeper team.
Ball, I don't like you.
I don't like LeVar Ball either.
Continue. Who's your sleeper?
New Orleans.
Nola?
I like Nola.
We got Brow.
You got
Boogie.
You got Brow and Boogie.
That's big. Stop right there. Brow and the Boogie.
Brow and Boogie. And then they
An off season together is crucial. What it is.
Yeah, I thought they should have been better when they had that trade last year.
But I mean, you throw those guys together in the middle of the season,
and they were like, oh, a lot of people were like, oh, they'll do good. They both went to Kentucky. I'm like, they never played together. What does that make sense? Like, maybe if they played together in college, but they didn't.
Bringing back Drew Holiday, solid.
He's underrated. Ooh, they got Tony Allen. I didn't even know that's where he went. Shut down D.
So I think they could be there in the 6 to 8 range as well.
Yeah.
Boogie Cousins and Brow are the two, obviously, big boys in that team.
Rondo's going to be kind of a sleeper there, too.
I
mean,
is
not
he really a sleeper though.
I mean, not a sleeper. He's going to be a pretty good. He's
sleeper.
hurt right now though too. So who does?
They paid Drew Holiday a lot of money for a reason.
Yeah, Drew Holiday is going to be your starter, but off the bench, Rondo is going to be a pretty.
I can see Rondo throwing some oops to Brow and to Boogie. I can see that, but it's all going to be around Cousins and Davis.
As long as Rondo doesn't piss somebody off, which he tends to do freaking everywhere.
It's not a 1-year deal, right? He's gone.
Oh God, yes, especially on the Pelicans where he's not the starter. He's just cut him. He'll be gone.
I agree with that. And last but not least, we're going to talk about your Bucks to end our NBA talk. So go ahead.
What are your thoughts? I want to hear your thoughts first.
What? Fine.
It's like fine.
Greek Freak finishes in the top 5 in the MVP.
I'm going top 3.
If Jabari Parker stays healthy,
which he won't be until at least next
I love
January.
Me some Jabari Parker.
Oh man, what?
What?
When he becomes healthy, that starting lineup to me is juicy.
Hit me with it.
So you got Brogdon,
Malcolm Brogdon,
which he plays some defense, and he's your 3rd or 4th option.
Yes.
Middleton,
Chris Middleton, yes.
Shoot the J. He can make shots.
Yes.
I love Middleton.
He can put the ball in the basket.
I mean, Giannis. It's Giannis.
He does literally
drive and do whatever.
My problem is you guys rely on him almost too much. He led you in like 7 different categories last year.
Yeah.
Points, steals, rebounds, blocks, assists.
He was also like the only one that was healthy all season.
Well, I mean, I just feel like you can't rely on him to do everything. Thing. It worked in the playoffs sort of last year.
Yeah. Well, once you get Brogdon in his 2nd year, he'll have a little more to do. Middleton healthy this year. Jabari when he comes back, if he stays healthy. If he doesn't blow out another knee. If Thon takes that step forward.
I'm not as big a Thon as you are. I
don't know what he's gonna do. He's got the raw talent to become pretty good. I mean, he's a big guy that can shoot threes.
Welcome to the NBA 2017.
I know, right? Big guys that can shoot threes. But I like as long as he keeps working. I think he can become something good. I don't know if he's what Kevin Garnett said and he's going to be an MVP guy.
But see, I like Moose and John Henson more than Thon.
I hate John Henson. I don't like him. He just doesn't do enough for me. That dude...
He's a role guy, big man up. I mean...
That dude cannot...
I like Greg Monroe a lot.
I like Monroe. I like Moose. Tony
Snell became a service and got a big money out of that. I love
Tony Snell.
Wow.
Tony Snell is just
Does
a
it give
player.
you extra satisfaction to know that Tony Snell on the Bulls was absolute garbage, and
now he's
in Milwaukee? Now he's a Milwaukee Buck, and he just gave him $50 million contract because he earned it.
Yeah, no, he's.
Does it give you extra satisfaction? Like, do you walk up?
I go back to the trade that basically started the whole thing. Was that whole Michael Carter Williams, Brandon Knight trade that we thought, we're getting the 2 best players from the Giannis draft, and Michael Carter Williams turned into a hobo.
Do you go up to Bulls fans and say, hey, how's MCW going for you? Yeah. Do you ever do that?
I have.
And what's the response?
A couple of them look at me and go, who?
What kind of Bulls fans are
I know some of them. I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. But
this is not fun anymore. You don't.
I can't f with you if you don't know who the guy is. But he just
is the Bulls Bucks rivalry real? Is that an actual thing?
I mean, it's
like Spurs Mavericks. That exists.
That exists.
Lakers Spurs. That exists.
I don't think they've ever been good at the same time.
Or was it just purely geographical?
Like I said, they've never been good at the same time. So it's either the Bulls kicking their ass or the Bucks the last couple of years.
So there's no like rivalry.
I don't really think of it that way. I don't.
So
really
when you
weird.
play the Bulls and you beat them, you don't get any extra joy?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, like a couple years ago.
Do you feel like Milwaukee is the little brother to the Bulls?
Being from Kenosha, yeah. Around here.
Does that kinda, like,
it's
rub you
kind of
the
it's
wrong
like
way?
Bear Packer fan thing. It's you guys. I mean, most of them down here actually.
Yeah, but
are
see,
Bulls
Bears
fans.
Packers are actual rivals.
Yeah.
Like, there's this intense.
It's-
So you say the Bucks Bulls rivalry does not exist? Is what you're saying as a Bucks fan?
It's not.
From a Bucks fan perspective.
It's not as big. Like I'm used to write Cubs Brewers right now. It's crazy. Packers Bears always crazy. So you kind of got like those two, and then you got Bucks Bulls.
So
where
if
half the
we-
time
if we-
it's just not competitive.
If we were to poll people, fans and listeners on this thing, do you think they would agree with you?
Probably not.
So you think they would think it's legitimately the Bulls Bucks is a true NBA rivalry?
I mean, this is the thing. I don't think it's not San Antonio Dallas.
Well, okay. I picked one of the most intense,
I mean, it's not.
long-lasting
It's not
NBA.
LA.
Or LA, San Antonio, or New York, Boston.
It's not.
That's, I mean,
It's a rivalry, but it's not a big, like, huge rivalry. And I think mainly it's because of the fact that the Bucks and the Bulls haven't really been on the same level of play.
well,
Because there's either, like, the last long, I don't even know, long time. It's either the Bulls are really good and the Bucks
so
are
you're
straight
playing
trash.
too many meaningless games.
Right. They're not competitive games.
But you don't have that extra oomph to like, hey, the Bucks won last night. I can confidently drive down to Illinois and see some people and like, yeah, proudly wear my Bucks stuff and like talk
I
a
would,
little
yeah.
smack.
Well, among my friends, yeah. That's
You're
exactly
just
what
gonna
I'm
drive
doing.
to Chicago. Hey, Bucks! How about them Bucks? Wow. This just took a dark turn. quickly.
we're getting shot in Chicago.
That was you. You took that on yourself, bro. You brought that upon yourself. I was keeping it clean.
No, like I said, if they were more like competitive, I think it would be bigger. But it's just the fact that they're not they're not competitive. Like they're not fighting for the same spot.
Okay, I see. Makes sense.
But if like I said, if they were fighting for the same spot, this rivalry would be bigger.
So it won't be big for a couple of years because the Bulls are garbage now.
Right. Like
Unfortunate.
Give it a year or two.
So then
It might
who is
get
your
back.
biggest? Who's the Bucks' biggest rival? Is it even one? Does one even exist?
I don't really think they have.
You have no consistent playoff matchup every year.
We tend to play Toronto a lot.
Well, then there you go.
We play Toronto a lot, and the Bucks can never really beat Atlanta. Or not Atlanta, Toronto. They can't beat Atlanta either.
So is Toronto your
Hey,
de
that's
facto?
de facto.
Yeah. So nothing. So the Bucks.
Oh, really? It's
boring.
weird. They don't have a freaking rivalry. Now that I think about it, it's really hard.
You think about that some more. We'll see if that ever comes back. But I think we're going to end this episode with a brief look at the early returns of the NHL season. And there's been some pretty surprising stuff in the NHL. Like my New Jersey Devils, full of youngsters, young talent all over the place, jumping out to a 3-1 start, including an impressive win in Toronto against the, at the time, undefeated Maple Leafs, doubling up 6-3. My Devils are 3-1. The expansion Las Vegas Golden Knights are 3-1
Big surprise.
to start the year.
Big surprise.
The Detroit Red
The Red
Wings
Wings?
I
I was talking to Mike, and I did the same thing today.
are 4-1 with their new stadium and everything.
Jimmy Howard has come out and actually played like the Jimmy Howard of old.
Very good, very good. I think probably one of the biggest surprises is last year, Colorado Avalanche.
I think
4-1 with
with an 8-goal differential.
Last year they had 48 points the whole season.
And they already have 8.
Like that's. I mean, I don't know if I can sustain that, but. And then on the other side of surprises,
Dallas.
the New York Rangers 1-4. I
Dallas
love
is
that.
1-3.
I
I hate the Rangers. I just hate the
as a
Rangers.
Devils. See, I'm a Devils fan.
Yeah, that makes it even better. Just get out of here.
Oh, get out of here, Rags. And the Canadians are 1-3. And the Penguins are 1-2. Or no, they're 2-2, I think. But the Canadians are 1-3 as well. So, which one of those stands out the most to you?
I mean, Dallas being 1-3 is
Yeah.
kind of a surprise too. And even Edmonton. I mean, Edmonton's only played 3 games.
I mean, most of them only played 3, 4, 5 games, but it's very, very
But
early returns.
The Rangers being 1-4, I did not see that coming.
They play my Devils tonight. So hopefully the Devils can make it 1-5.
Right. I mean, Pittsburgh giving up 10 goals in a game is kind of...
Awesome.
Yes.
Another team that I despise is the Penguins. See, the Devils' main rivals, New York Rangers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Philadelphia Flyers. All three of those teams disgust me. Sorry, continue.
No,
disgust. When I say disgust, I mean... But...
I mean, Edmonton only having 7 goals so far this year is kind of a surprise to me.
Ovechkin has 9
9 himself.
9 goals in 5 games. He's on pace for his record, what was it, 65, and then some.
Yeah, no, he's on pace for almost, what is it? I'm trying to do math right now.
That's up to you. That's not me. I don't do math.
It's like 160 goals this year. He's got to slow down a little bit, I think.
What's interesting... Wow, look at that. What's interesting about the Capitals right now, again, are we not surprised regular season they're top of the standings as always, but the top 3 players in the NHL with the most points are all Capitals.
Washington,
all Capitals.
And then they have a guy that's in the top 6 too.
You have Ovechkin with 10 points, 9 goals and an assist. You have Nicholas Backstrom and Kuznetsov, who has 10 assists already. No goals, but 10 assists. So the Capitals are scoring goals at will, playing free hockey. My Devils, they're surprisingly... I talked to our Dave Staub, and he says that my Devils are one of the fastest teams he's seen in a long time. Because usually we're slow, plodding, boring defensive hockey. We finally have all the offensive... I said preseason, we have no defense, so we have to push the pace. So
right,
we
so
are just throwing... We're basically just throwing guys forward like nonsense, and I love it. Young guys like a rookie, like a 6th-round draft pick, Jesper Pratt has 3 goals and 3 assists already. Like, that's the kind... I mean, obviously, he's not going to continue that, because that's the same level of production as Jonathan Toews so far. But that's the kind of stuff you need to have happen to accelerate a rebuild.
Exactly.
Is a 6th-round draft pick stepping up beyond expectations. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 2 line guy.
No, right, but he's just... He's there.
I know it's very early, and there's been the last few years, the Devils have always had pretty good starts the first couple of weeks, and then we just fall off the face of the earth. So I'm hoping we have more depth this year to sustain that with the Taylor Halls and the Palmieri's and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of, speaking of the Blackhawks briefly, Brandon Saad is settling right in.
Yeah, exactly. He's going back in.
He's got 5 goals already in 5 games with 2 assists.
I don't think anybody, even the most optimistic Blackhawks fan, could have expected this.
He has 5 goals, and Panarin just scored his first goal for Columbus last night. Now, do we
still think Panarin?
I just said, do you think Panarin still ends up with more goals?
Yeah, I think so.
But the Hawks do better than Columbus. Even with Sergei Bobrovsky with his 0.65 goal
He has
against.
to fall off.
The Columbus Blue Jackets goalie in 3 starts, Sergei Bobrovsky, has a .65 goal against average with a 98% save percentage. 98% save percentage in 3 games. Obviously, that's going to correct itself a little bit. Because number 2 is Corey Crawford at a goal and a half. 1.5 goals against. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
But .65. Sergei Bobrovsky.
That is like, I don't... Are you playing against a bunch of bums? Are they shooting from the blue line all the time?
Sometimes goalies get hot. It's possible.
Exactly.
Goalies get hot, and they're in a zone. Lundqvist has done it. Jonathan Quick has definitely done it.
God, yes. There's just games. You go on stretches.
And they also go the opposite, too. They couldn't stop anything.
Trust me, I know.
Oh. Did you like the Wild's goalie situation?
Dubnyk, man. I love Dubnyk. He came out against Chicago 2 nights ago. And he was doing pretty damn good.
And I know you've been texting me the rash of injuries up in north of Minnesota. You guys are 1-1, right?
1-1. They have 3 points.
Woo!
Yes.
But who's you lost Coyle?
Lost Coyle for what? 2 months now. Broke his leg. There goes my Coyle's going to be the big difference maker on the team this year. Parise's not back yet. Who else they got? They got too busy paying attention to the Astros game. Who else
Use
got
your
hurt?
words. Hey,
Niederreiter got
use-
hurt. Niederreiter, I don't know how long Niederreiter's out for, but he's definitely out for a
You're
little
scrambling right now.
while. I am so scrambling. I had this all down too, but
It's all gravy. It's all gravy.
yeah, no, like with the amount of injuries they have, Foligno's out too. Yep, there you go.
So basically, this your entire team.
Literally, yeah, they have two lines.
any-
They have two lines of
marquee-
healthy players.
Any marquee player for Minnesota is hurt. Is what you're trying to say.
No, I mean they got Koivu and
Koivu.
and
Sydney Koivu? All right,
Mika?
Mika
they have
Koivu.
Mika
yeah.
Koivu.
It's only in hockey can you have multiple of the same unique names.
Right. I was talking to Sherwood today. I go, yeah, Foligno got hurt, and he's like, which Foligno do you guys have?
There's 17 of them in the NHL.
I think Granlund's still hurt too. Jeez.
But see, these all could be like short terms, though, yeah.
With the exception of Coyle, I think they're only a couple weeks
Okay, well,
at most. But
just stay afloat then for a little bit.
you just gotta stay afloat and hopefully score somehow.
Well, it's to usually score by taking the puck and you hit it with the stick,
You put it in the goal.
and it goes into the net, and then the horn goes bang.
And your plus side, you don't run into the goalie.
Yeah,
It's a plus side. That's how you don't get 2 goals taken away in the first period against the Red Wings.
because
But hey.
but who's bitter, right?
Nah, whatever.
So do you think the Wild can recover? Do you think
Yeah.
how much stock do you put into these early seasons in the NHL? Because the NHL it fluctuates so much.
I don't.
So you just have a
it's
good
so
week.
early.
It's hard to say.
It's so early that they can come back from it. It just all depends on when they start clicking.
At one point in the NHL season, does a good start become just a good season and they're a good team?
If they keep playing like this for the next month, I'm gonna be kind of worried.
Well, I'm speaking like any team in general. Like looking at hockey, in your opinion,
What?
at what point? Because like in NBA, but anyway, like in MLB, you can have a good month,
Right.
but you still have 5 months to play. NFL, if you're good after 5 or 6 games, it's typically turning into a solid season. So at what point is the NHL? Because like this has been a week.
Right. I mean, it's only been a week. I'll give it. When do they play till June? Don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when the finals are? Or is that when the playoffs start?
No, it's all the way until next summer. Yeah.
So once the month and a half mark hits, that's when you kind of figure out what teams are which.
Who, and then with the trajectories and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah. There is more mid-season activity in NHL, I think, than other sports.
yeah, the only one that's really
MLB, right?
besides the MLB, and even this year, it was really low. Like I didn't think there was a whole lot of movement this year, but yeah, it goes. MLB is usually the most, NHL, NBA, and then you get like the random special teamer traded in the
Or
NFL.
Adrian Peterson to the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, he was getting cut or traded, so you might as well get the conditional pick for him.
I feel no sympathy for that, man.
God, freaking idiot.
Whatever. He got paid. He's actually pretty smart, apparently. He got paid $8 million to do
Yeah,
nothing.
when you get money to do nothing, I guess it's a good move.
I'm hoping my Devils can keep up the hot start. I hope all the youngsters keep attacking, keep confidence going. I could see us in a 5-8 seed if we keep up this speed and this aggressive play, and just Corey Schneider doing Corey Schneider things, defense being serviceable. That's all I want. And the Eastern Conference, I don't expect the Rangers to stay down forever. I don't expect the Canadiens or Boston Bruins to stay down forever. I expect all 3 of those teams to turn around. I expect Colorado to fall back to earth. I see Vegas falling back to earth.
No, they started that last night, so...
I see Detroit kind of plateauing, neither accelerating or
I think
falling
Detroit's
off.
going to depend a lot on Jimmy Howard. If Jimmy Howard
Stays like Jimmy Howard.
stays like the old Jimmy Howard, I think they're going to be at least a playoff team.
And I think the Blackhawks are once again the cream of the crop.
Yeah, they're going to be the Blackhawks.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, right?
It's like the dynasty that never ends. The dynasty that never ends. But you know what does end, though? This episode. This has been Coping with the Sports World. This is a longest. Each one's getting
Jeez,
longer
man,
and longer and
Eventually,
longer.
we're just going to have a 3-hour episode,
No,
and we're just
we'll-
going to be taking naps in the middle.
We gotta be more. We'll get more organized, maybe.
I mean, we can't get on our Marlins rants anymore. So.
Justin Bohr. Get the board. Expect you to be in a Bohr jersey next episode.
Oh,
but
jeez.
good for us. This episode was only 5 days after the second one. We beat a month between the first 2 episodes.
That's true.
So there we go. You guys, you're welcome. Enjoy.
You're welcome.
Like-
We're a little more efficient this time.
But thank you for listening to us. And again, we're going to get more people to join us in the future. And I've had a lot of requests for video feeds. So, like, when they watch, like, or listen to us on YouTube, they want to see us or see something.
Okay.
So we'll look into that. We're not the most tech savvy cats just yet, but baby steps. We'll get there.
Baby steps. We'll get this going.
And this is fun as always. I'm Cope,
I'm Chris.
and this has been Coping with the Sports World. And y'all enjoy your sports. Have a great night or day. Bye.